breaking down in the bright lights. When you've been going around every dark side, but something in your eyes tells me you're a wild child, hungry for a good time, honey. Lots of pretty lights, drinking a good time now, dressing up your mind in folly. Building up a house, now you're burning it down, 'cause you're gonna do what you wanna. Running in a mess, hoping for the best. Say you're not afraid of the karma. Always love the sound of things hitting the ground, so don't go telling your mama. Place it on your best, play it close to the chest now, 'cause you love the drama. You love the drama. You love the drama. You could start a war from a whisper. You wanna play with fire, then you get burned. something in your eyes says you don't run in heights, says you've been charming snakes for a long time. Say everyone loves a wild child. Building up a house, now you're burning it down, 'cause you're gonna do what you wanna. Thriving in a mess, hoping for the best. Say you're not afraid of karma. Always love the sound of things hitting the ground, so don't go telling your mama. Facing all your bets, play it close to the chest now, 'cause you love drama. You love drama. I love the drama. You love drama. You love the drama. Watching a good thing go bad, till all the good ones get mad. Giving and taking away. Why do we betray such beautiful things? Holding the kingdom keys. Gilded lies on gilded strings. We'll give 'em a show, because we know they love the drama. Building up a house, now you're burning it down, 'cause you're gonna do what you wanna. Thriving in a mess, hoping for the best. Say you're not afraid of the karma. Always love the sound of things hitting the ground, so don't go telling your mama. Placing all your bets, play it close to the chest now, 'cause you love the drama. Building up a house, now you're burning it down, 'cause you're gonna do what you wanna. Thriving in a mess, hoping for the best. Say you're not afraid of the karma. Always love the sound of things hitting the ground, so don't go telling your mama. Placing all your bets, play it close to the chest now, 'cause you love drama. You love drama. You love drama.
School's out for summer and the kids are on break. I need a woman, can't look at me straight. I step up closer to the edge of her waist. Palm sweat, can't wait. She leans into me. Oh yeah. I grant her a dream, 'cause I'm a lover boy at heart. I'm a lover boy at heart. Screaming down Main Street, headed for the lake. give me the same, give me a kiss. She leans into me, oh yeah. It is what it seems, oh. A world in one piece, oh yeah. I gave her her dreams. I'm in love before it hard, yeah. I'm in love before it hard. I'm in love before it hard.
All this time we had to prove that we could stand here too. All the nights spent pushing through, fight for all we had to lose. Reaching out for something to pull us up to level ground. Oh, I can see it now, I can see it now. We're on the edge of a moment, been out of our depth, now we're diving in. The light up ahead, we're running to it. We're on the edge, now we're diving in. Stay a while and you'll see that every broken dream fit together flawlessly, pave the road to better things. Letting go of the moments that could only keep us down. I can see it now. Can you see it now? We're on the edge of a moment, been out of our depth, now we're diving in. The light up ahead, we're running to it. We're on the edge, now we're diving in.
2020 GSL SuperTournament, Season 1.
Look at that beautiful empty studio. Welcome to the GSL SuperTournament Quarantine Edition. We're here on day 2. It's good to finally be back casting some StarCraft 2. We're sorry you guys can't join us here live at our event, but wherever you are at home, under quarantine most likely, join us. Let's kill some time together.
Yeah, in the very, very best way possible, which is having a StarCraft 2 tournament. I've been just so excited and so happy that GSL is back that since the last Super Tournament day, I literally didn't even move. I laid down underneath this desk and then just got right back up.
We had some crazy games, by the way, just a few days ago. Huge upset with SOS moving on against Rogue. Incredible series. Definitely check out the VODs if you haven't already. And as we are going to come through here now, with StarCraft 2 finally starting up for us, I know we started a little bit late. We have a lot of great matches and tournaments to go through for the year.
Yeah. It was a fun day of games overall. The Zest TY match really wasn't that good, but everything else was pretty good on day 1. Actually, I talked to Juan to Special on the Pylon show this week, and he said that Rogue hadn't opened StarCraft 2 since he won Katowice. Can't blame him, right? You've already had a great year.
Yeah,
if you won
that
Katowice.
story's not uncommon. Is you win the tournament and you take a little bit of time off and you come back and
totally.
the game has already changed. So unlike our normal Super Tournament schedule, normally we have 4 days in a row. We're going to be on a little bit of a different schedule here. It's going to be more like the Codes schedule. So the next 2 days will be on Wednesday and then Saturday. Saturday at 5 p.m. again. So after today, we'll be halfway through our tournament. A lot on the line, $30,000 US.
That's right. Don't forget that the top 4 players from this tournament will seed into the next tournament, and I want to make this very clear. We've changed the way that GSL Codes works. We'll be having a round of 24 to start, and the 4 seeds will start in the round of 16. It'll be very similar to ASL. Not exactly the same, but very similar to that.
ASL is our sister tournament. That's for StarCraft Remastered, but we're making the tournaments look more like each other right now. ASL, by the way, also going on. You also cannot come down to our studio for that. That's in our other new studio in Jamshil. So when the apocalypse is finally over, you can come down and check out our new studio as well.
Well, let's take a look at these matches tonight. These are ludicrously good. Stats versus Maru. I mean, come on. That is a rivalry. Subers Innovation, another one. 2 of the longest standing, most successful GSL players of all time. Then we have Deer versus Kira, the 2 players that are so well known for being very strong but don't generally deliver.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Armani versus Solar. That is the Patience Dark match of the night, if you ask me.
Yeah, we're not ending with the strongest match, but it's good to see Armani down here. We'll see how he performs.
Yeah.
It's important to have new players, or newer, I should say, players down here, less experienced, to try to compete with the guys who have been killing it for so long.
I think it's kind of okay to say new, but people have to understand what new means in StarCraft. It takes years and years and years to actually get to a very high level. So, like, Armani's been in and out of GSL for years.
That's right.
But it
compared
takes,
to, like, Innovation or somebody,
oh, yeah.
he's more of a rookie. I mean,
Yes,
this is the thing about StarCraft. This is what makes it so great, too, is that it's been out for so long that you're able to actually have insane stories coming out here.
Yeah.
So let's start with our first match today. This is one we've seen a lot of, and it never fails to disappoint.
Yeah. Stats, I mean, this is the defensive Protoss since Rain went back to Brood War. He has been so strong. He was definitely the best Protoss in the world overall a couple times in the last few years.
He's somebody who's proven that you can play Protoss in a much more reactive style. A lot of times Protoss is identified as the race that really gets to initiate. You have to play by their rules, but Stats is fine staying withdrawn, staying back and watching you, and then seeing where the mistakes are in your play, and he'll try to race ahead and usually close out with a macro game or a push. Now he's going up against Maru, who off and on has been the best StarCraft 2 player in the world. He's a big fan favorite. He was incredible at the game at a very young age, and as he continues to grow up, he's still so dominant.
Oh yeah, he's the best Terran in the world. There's really not any question there. Made the round of 4 in Katowice, only 1 map off of beating Rogue and going to the finals even. So he's in fantastic shape right now. But to be fair, like, Stats is a player that absolutely has in the past knocked him out and can knock him out more because his style kind of counters Maru's style slightly. But at the same time, I have heard, because Stats has to go to the military soon, there's a possibility he might not be practicing as hard as he has in the past. Some players go about that a different way when they're going to the military, right?
Some wane off a little bit. Others really go hard.
Classic, for instance, went really hard. When the military is coming up, he's like, let me do this.
Yeah, he wanted to close it out in the strongest possible performance that he could deliver.
Well, damn, he did it, right? Top 4 at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
In the patch of the Zergs, the year of the Zergs. But Stats, we'll see. We'll see what type of shape he's going to bring here today.
This is a best of 5. We're going to have 4 of them today. And then when we come back again on Wednesday, we're going to go right into the next phase of the tournament.
Yes.
Exciting. Guys, we're ready for game 1. This is Stats versus Maru. I can't believe I'm saying this here in the round of 16 as we start day 2 of the Super Tournament.
Game start.
Okay, bottom right in the blue, he is.
Africa Freaks. Stats.
And his opponent here in the upper left in the red.
Jin Air Green Wings. Maru.
right. I noticed that we are on GSL match 4026.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, we're getting up there.
Did we make sure to meet
And I
when it got
started
to
thinking-
GSL match 4,200? Or
I just wonder how many matches, like, what if in 100 years GSL is just still going strong?
might be.
Yeah. Tesla's died hundreds of years ago.
But my brain and my vocal cords are in a robot.
Well, that's what we tell people, but really it's just a very simple app for an iPhone. In the meantime, I'm still alive, living forever, hooked up to all sorts of machines. Quality of life not so good, but still kicking.
Still in pain everywhere.
Still.
Okay, so yeah, generally speaking, Stats doesn't tend to cheese that much. He'll incorporate it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maru went through a whole phase where he was, going through proxies more often than he was not. So he's at different points in time where he's approached his race very differently. But Stats has pretty much been a reactive, safe Protoss.
Yeah.
And usually tends to get pretty far in tournaments, or sometimes win, but he's very consistent.
Yeah, he's the most consistent Protoss that we have, truly. Is he the most successful? I don't know that you can truly say that.
But I would say, if you were somebody who was trying to learn Protoss, he's probably the best one to study. Like, you wouldn't want to study SOS and what he does immediately.
You don't want to study SOS. Yeah, that I definitely agree with. If you want a strong fundamental skill set that you can build off of into any direction, Stats is your guy. If you want a lot of wins, probably Zest would be more your guy.
More timing attack
oriented. Yeah, he plays Protoss in a more championship type of way.
I will say the way that Stats, or when he was playing in StarCraft 2 Reign, I think that's one of the hardest ways in StarCraft 2 to play Protoss. You really have to know the other race as well as you know your own race, how to match them, where they're going to have their weaknesses, where there's going to be periods where their upgrades are behind yours, where you try to come in and punish that or try to come out and get ahead.
Sure. Yeah. Well, just playing reactive in general is very, very tough because you have to, you basically have to lose to everything and learn from everything.
Right.
You can't just like walk across the map and win generally.
Yeah, until you've sanded down all the little sharp edges of your builds, you've really got it refined. You really know the dance in and out.
But it generally gives us our overall best players.
Yep, that's true.
It's generally the case.
There's been a few exceptions to that where players that rush a lot or players that cheese a lot have success. We have had like the cheesiest Protoss like Harding come out on top.
Absolutely.
So we saw the Hellion and the Reaper go around, and now this is not adequate defense actually on either side. Now that I'm looking at it, the Hellion's going to come in here with the Reaper and then end up hitting these workers.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God, he actually does a nice surround there.
Yeah, almost completely.
Ooh.
For a second, I thought he was going to have that Hellion entombed and then kill it off, but it did some decent damage. So both sides suffering a little bit of losses. Actually, both suffering, losing, I should say, exactly 3 workers on each side. And we have Banshee Cloak being upgraded here as well from Maru.
Yeah, not too surprised to see. Definitely something he likes to use. Stats going for that very quick third Nexus. No big surprise there either. Trying to get into that more macro-focused game. Wants his economy to get out of here. Now, we'll see what type of damage Maru can get done with these Cloak Banshees. And is he going to go up to the kind of standard 3 racks play? Is he just going to throw down that third command? Hard to say right now.
So we have that Banshee now moving across the map over here, passing 12 o'clock. It's going to come down here. And Cloak's going to be finishing just right about now. We'll see how many worker kills he can possibly get with this. Blink is done, so you got to be careful. If he can blink right under that and get you, it's going to be bad. And so for now, he's going to move in undetected here. And we'll see if the probes at the natural are well defended. We do have an observer popping out as well, just to the left side of our screen here.
It's going to be up in just a moment. But here we go. I mean, the Banshee already getting a couple kills.
Okay, but I think that vision is enough. He should. Oh! Can he blink over through the top and try to catch that?
That's some dead airspace right there. You need something that flies to hit him.
So now Maru's going to push out. This is all happening while the workers are pinned. I'm sorry, the stalkers are pinned trying to defend against the Banshee. So You know, he knows the threat of that is there. Now we have the stalkers moving out across the map, although I don't think he
they're going in the wrong
sees.
direction. Okay, yeah, they're going north now. That is where the army is. But
They might pass each other here.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for Stats, I think.
Yeah, if he can get the siege tank set up with these Marines over here and the SCVs.
So I think his idea here is to go and slow down any sort of push like this, but he missed it completely.
Yeah, with a blind spot on the map here. This just gets set up and 2 bunkers go down. And then when those bunkers finish,
oh my
3
God.
now, I don't think there's any way that you're going to be able to save that. You saw Stats go back, and then he says, wait a minute, it's going to be too late if I do get over there. He'll take out this Banshee, but I don't know if a counterattack from Stats is going to do much as well either.
Well, he loses this Nexus no matter what, and you're right. That the army he has over there is not that strong.
I like how he cancels the bunkers, too. When he realizes he doesn't need that spot anymore, he might as well save the money. He just has SCVs all on top of this one tank here, and it looks like there's actually enough repair that he drives it away. Making it worse for Stats is now the push comes down on top of the Robo, a necessary structure for those Immortals to take out the tanks. That's going to be gone, and I think this game might actually end very abruptly.
This is awesome seeing him just throw down mass bunkers everywhere he goes. It's so funny. It really puts a clock on the Protoss. I mean, if you don't engage before those bunkers are up, you're done.
Oh, he's going to need a siege up here again as these Stalkers come forward. These bunkers should be moments away from finishing here. The 2 tanks go down, but the damage is certainly not being done. It's not finished being dealt here, I should say.
Oh my God, the Stalkers got rid of most of the SCVs, but he does finish up 1 bunker here.
You know, the thing I'm worried about, though, is that Maru has still been macroing on 2 bases. I mean, he can still try to push out here. The bunker is still a real threat. Now a Raven coming out here. And also, note that Stats has a 3rd base on the map, but it's not being mined from. There it is now.
Yeah, it just finished up, and he can't get probes there.
Yeah, because of the presence of this bunker. Oh.
I like it.
Oh, man.
He's just killing, man.
Yeah, he might even get the Observer with the Marines if he pushes further forward here. Gets that as well.
Stats is trying to make something happen, but he has so few units right now. Just that little group of Stalkers you see there on the left. Not even many gateways, as our wonderful Observer JYP just showed.
That's right. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. We have JYP observing today.
He's been observing for us so far.
So, I mean, these are 2 very different openers right now, with Stats trying to just out-expand and stay ahead and deflect attacks, and Maru went with a very decisive timing, which Stats completely missed. And it looks like Maru's got to win at least game 1 so far in this best of 5.
Oh yeah, just kind of smashes through here. It looks like Stat's going to make one more big effort to clear this, and while he may end up clearing it, like, the amount of damage that he's taken, Maru is so far ahead.
Yeah, Stats is barely hanging on.
All Stats has is some Blink Stalkers. Like, what you see is what you get. That's what he has.
He's also in some ways been forced to keep making Blink Stalkers because you can micro them around these unit sets that are pretty hard to engage otherwise. But I think even with this being driven back, yeah, now we have Marauders out here, which really counter, with the concussion shells, they really counter what the Stalkers can do. You can blink somewhere, but then you're slowed down, and you're ultimately going to lose those.
Looks like he's going to go ahead and grab a Dark Shrine. May as well, right? Like, you really need a miracle at this point. So, getting a Dark Shrine, getting a Robo back up, re-expanding. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's not like he has anything else to do today. Right?
Yeah.
But that's about the size of it, though. He's just so far behind. He needs a miracle now. He needs like 2 miracles, actually. 1 miracle won't do it.
Yeah, he's coming across the map now. Maru is. This is right as weapons and armor are going to finish. He's going to hit this Nexus. And again, with Marauders here, the math becomes a lot less favorable here for the Protoss. He's going to try to come forward here, stimming. Force fields come down, but it's just too much. And that means Maru takes game 1. GG.
Yeah. All right. So this game really came down very much to the fact that when Stats sent his Stalkers out, he kind of went through the center, and then he went to the north. But their armies passed like ships in the night, right? Like, Maru definitely had that very sharp timing built in there with his Banshee. He moved out immediately across the top to hit the 3rd base. And Stats, his like window of opportunity to get in front of that army and micro and make it either turn around or whittle units down and build reinforcing units, he lost it.
Things are happening so quickly. When the Banshee, it appeared to be cornered in between the 3rd and the 2nd base, but already the push is coming out. And that was a push where Terran just needs to spring the attack on you. They start the bunkers, They siege up the tanks, and those bunkers are going to finish by the time Stats' army would come back and defend. And by then, it's too late. So we saw Stats try to counterattack. Not a bad idea. It was the best of all the bad options he had.
Yeah.
But Maru holds it there.
Yeah. It was a terrible situation for Stats, unfortunately. But good play by Maru, no doubt. No doubt.
Let's see if Stats can pull it together. Excuse me. Together. Map 2 will be on Everdream. Stats versus Maru. Game 2 starts now.
Game start.
Top right.
Africa Freaks. Stats.
Trying to pull it together.
Together. Can he do it?
Jin Air Green Wings. Maru.
Marvu.
Did you say Marvu?
Marvu.
Let's taste this. What you been doing since the last GSL day?
Well, I've drawn a face on a volleyball, and I've been casting with that in my house.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to lose my mind.
Wonderful.
No, I've been trying to do a little bit of yoga in my house.
Yeah?
I'm finding out just how not flexible I am.
Yeah, you're not very
No,
flexible. Me either.
that's not, if you made a list of words that you would associate with me, flexible is not one.
Inflexible, on the other hand, is actually one that I do.
Yeah,
When
that's,
people are like, tell me about your
they're
co-caster
like, well,
interview,
for
I'm
one
like,
thing, he's very inflexible.
yeah. He's funny, inflexible. They're like, did you say inflexible? I'm like, yeah. Like, that doesn't help us in this interview. We're trying to really get to know Taste. So I'm like, oh, listen, you can't truly know him unless you know how inflexible he is.
I've been, playing a lot of games, playing a lot of StarCraft.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sleeping a lot. I'm sleeping without ever feeling pressure of getting out of bed.
Nice. Nice.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Well, you have kids, so you just have to wake up, but...
I hear Dada every day between 5:45 and
Yeah.
6:15 a.m.
So you just playing with your kids, staying in the house?
Yeah. StarCraft and children. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it for the rest of my life, in fact. I already got this mapped out, Tasteless. All right? Children in StarCraft until the children all go to college, and then it's just StarCraft. But then eventually, they probably will, some of them have children, and then it'll be children in StarCraft again.
It'll come back.
And then eventually I'll die, and that'll be it. Life well lived.
By the way, both these guys are proxying each other.
Yeah.
We have a starport made at the top, start gate made close to the middle.
Factory up at the top as well.
Yeah. So this is where things get a little bit funny because it's possible neither have adequate defense back at home.
Oh, yeah. Very, very possible. Now, which is going to be more dangerous? I would say that the Hellion drop is a little bit scarier, right?
I would say so. Well, that's going to kill workers more
An
quickly.
Oracle will run out of energy.
Right.
And you'll still have workers.
Right.
Hellions don't run out of energy.
So here comes that first Adept, confirming that there's a command center there.
That's a late command, though.
Yeah.
He looks at that and
that
he
should
knows
be enough
something's up.
to sound some alarms here.
Yeah, there's not a Reaper either. Why isn't there a Reaper?
Look at that.
Oh,
Stargate,
yeah.
he's sending the Oracle back.
That's how much he knows.
Yeah.
That one shading gives him so much intel. Well, he didn't mean to do that, that's for sure. Or maybe he did. Maybe he didn't realize the Marines were coming back.
Okay, the medevac's out. Loads all three Hellions in there and drops immediately over here.
Uh-oh,
Now, I think Stats suspects this is coming, but
well, I
knowing
think he
is
might have
not
thought
the issue.
Banshee or something, because he is, like, a shield battery does not do it here. Oh, God.
Oh, my God, that shot specifically. Okay, we have 10 probes killed, now
Holy.
12. And the number's going to rise here. He picks him back up to get away from the Adepts. Meanwhile, the Oracle comes in here. Now, as Artosis said, this has a limited amount of energy, so eventually it can only be a spotting unit, and that is now at 0 energy.
Look at that, only 7 kills? What a weak Oracle.
Already 12 kills, however, over here on Stats' side. Maru's damage already beginning to mount up quite a lot. Shield battery goes down.
Oh, this is
so
really
funny. Look at this. You can get the pylon from here.
My God. That's so funny.
When the Widowmine gets set up here, there's no way for the Protoss to fight back. He should just end up losing the pylon. Oh, he's just going to push.
Beautiful micro as well. Beautiful micro. Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold on to this. I think this game's already done. This is even more one-sided right now than Zest versus TY.
Yeah, landing a Viking now. He could take out both these pylons and then unless you fight this off with probes, which you can't. There's really nothing you can do here.
Oh, dude, he's so dead. Look at this. Like, you can't even make units right now.
No.
It's probably the one time Stats has been out of the house this week, so he's like, well, I'm going to stay, all right?
Yeah.
You know, he has 2 oracles over there, so
I
I think what he's doing actually makes a little bit of sense. He's like, well,
trying to
maybe
buy
I can
time.
kill everything with the oracles, but as he
I don't
loses
think
every
so.
probe,
GG. Maru takes game 2.
it loses all meaning.
I think you're right. I think he thought maybe if he just gets a little bit
If
more
he could
energy,
just
and
hold
saps
this,
that
yeah.
down, and maybe somehow, some way,
Yeah.
Hail Mary this to a win, but it did
Hail
not work.
Maru this, more like.
Nice.
Maru always gets auto-corrected to Mary in phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike my favorite word, ducking, when I try to text that word, you know.
Oh, yeah, ducking? Yeah,
Ducking,
yeah.
ducking is always what
Oh.
I meant
Well,
when I'm trying to type something out on my
Whenever
iPhone.
I'm typing something on my iPhone, my wife's like, who's this Mary woman? I'm like, babe, I'm talking about the best hair in the world. She's like,
Yeah.
her name is Mary?
You
I'm like,
say-
no, it's
you say,
Maru!
what the duck are you talking about? Are you ducking crazy? Okay, we're going to go to game 3, and I hope that we have a game 4, because right now Stats is getting just rolled here. Stats isn't even getting to try whatever he planned.
Yeah, nothing's really going well for him yet, is it?
These are 2 kids building their little castles with their blocks, but Maru keeps knocking Stats' blocks down.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
And I know all about that. The fact that Stats isn't screaming, though, he's a very good boy.
Yeah. But issues will arise later in his life, no doubt.
Maybe.
Game start.
As long as he's quiet now.
Yeah, he's quiet now.
Africa Freaks. Stats. Jin Air Green Wings. Maru.
Look, no hands. He's not even using his hands.
Doesn't even
He's
need
been playing with his
hands.
feet. I can't believe it.
My God.
He's playing with his feet, and his shoes are on. How does he do it?
It's crazy. Drinking water.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we don't have it on camera right now, but he's in cat's cradle with his hands right now.
No kidding.
Oh, I was wondering why he brought all that yarn in today.
I'm worried for Stats Ceratosis.
Oh, he's
This is not looking good so far.
dude, he's done. There's no way. Maru is looking tip-top.
Thing is, man,
Yeah.
I think that some of this might be, like you were mentioning earlier, like he hasn't been that active Stats
Maybe.
lately.
It's
But
possible.
I want to be a little bit cautious saying that because we can't confirm that right now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to. Maybe he's been practicing really hard and
Yeah. It's just not clicking
it's
right
just
now.
yeah, it's just not his day. The stars are not aligning.
Totally could be. And, well, Maru's so good that, of course, he should be able to do this to anybody occasionally, right?
Yeah. So this time around, Stats, again, just it appears that he's going to be playing a pretty middle-of-the-road game, expanding out here. Same thing for Maru, though, at least for now, until we see some fork in the build order. So it might be a calm early game.
All right. I mean, I really wouldn't mind seeing a bigger game. Something other than Maru's first attack killing Stats. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
I'd be fine with a game that goes over 10 minutes. What do you say?
Oh, that would be nice. I would really like that. A 20-minute game even I would take.
Please. Because these first 2 went by very quickly. We've been live for 25 minutes. We're in the 3rd game.
That is quick. All right, Twilight coming down.
What do you think of the placement of the Twilight?
I don't think too much about it. Like, you want the pylon down there, right? So in case you need shield battery or warpins at your Nexus, and then I feel like you don't want to put all of your stuff where
On
that
one.
first pylon is. You know.
If only we had a name for that.
I wish we had a name.
Some
for
way
that.
to describe
An
that concept.
overworked, underpaid pylon
Yes.
is what I would call it. A very passionate pylon.
Yes.
A pylon that does its best.
So some mild pressure coming out here. I love them just using the shade to spot for the stalker.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is very cool. It's very cute. It's such a funny little micro thing that was going on.
What?
He's just not microing that well.
Oh, that's going to end now with the Widow Mine there. Or will it? Blink is coming now as well. We have the Robo facility. Nobody doing anything other than really building up and mounting up for pressure later on. We have Stats taking the third first, which is pretty par for the course with Stats.
Same build as previously.
Right.
Just game 1 from Stats.
I think this time, if there is some kind of timing attack that comes out, he'll be more ready for it than he was in game 1.
Well, I mean, I feel like his build would have been okay against what Maru was doing if he had just gone in the right direction, you know? But that
Had
can
he
be tough.
engaged the SCVs, the tanks, and the Marines.
Yeah, on the way
Sure.
over. You have
But
to whittle it.
This is one of the features of StarCraft 2 is that things are moving at an insanely quick pace. You
Yeah.
know, you're a few seconds behind, and that's it, man.
It truly is.
So here we see a hallucinated Phoenix sent out. It just barely grazes by the medevac. I think yeah, he did see it. Okay. He had vision of it. The question was, did Stats' eye catch the blip?
Yeah, always hard to say. Couple Forge coming up. Looks like Stats is trying to get into that more macro-esque game.
I love how he's deflecting the hallucinated Phoenix,
Yeah.
too. It's so good.
This has become such a big thing when playing against Protoss, trying to block hallucinations that come in.
And look at this. The timing comes out as the hallucinated Phoenix was killed off. It looked like he was trying to hide something. Now the push comes. Here's the same 4 SCVs. He's moving down to the bottom. We don't have anything that, as far as I can tell, that has seen this yet. Now, it might be the same story, dude.
Holy crap.
Stats is moving out again. Maru might move around him.
Yeah, he's missing
Okay, this
him.
tells me
He's
that
exactly
Maru
missing him.
has got a really good sense of how the Protoss is going to move on this
Yeah,
map. I mean,
yeah.
this is... Look
Well,
at
there's
this.
several paths that you can take, and Stats went through the center one. He's a very middle-of-the-road guy, and now he's going to lose his Nexus, likely.
Okay, the bunkers get thrown down here. Note the
Oh,
placement.
man.
It's hard to even get close to the tanks in this position with the bunkers that far forward here.
Oh,
And
that's
remember, he can always cancel the bunkers before they finish. Meanwhile, Liberator here in the main.
Man, and Stats does not even see it. His tank, he did catch the second tank that was coming up with his group of Stalkers, so that's good. But the amount of probes he just lost in the main base, that right there, you can see the look on his face as he realizes that that was happening.
I feel like Stats right now is like a bird that's trapped indoors and is
yeah.
flying into windows.
The Liberator is what just killed him. Like, losing the Nexus, if he picks off the whole army, suddenly it's like, oh, okay, it's not that big a deal, right?
Okay, this is just getting worse and worse. Oh!
Oh my god, so many probes have fallen.
And look, Maru's actually turning back around. Just when he knows that
He's willing to pick off whatever you give him.
yeah,
No problem.
I really love this. He just knows to pull back out. And that, as Stats tries to come in there and chase that down and try to just gain back some advantage here,
Yeah.
it's not enough.
He's killed a Nexus near 20 probes, a bunch of units. He's in great shape, adding a ton of barracks right now himself.
We see 2 forges, although they're not being used.
That's pretty bad.
I don't even know if he can use them honestly right now because of how much damage he's taken. It might actually be like a strategic decision to just not upgrade and to try to actually just go for army.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it's not, then it means that he's really falling apart.
Well,
he might have gotten those forges as the third was coming and thought, okay, I'm going to hold off everything.
Yeah,
and then start upgrades.
thought. And then he just didn't find the army in the right location.
Okay, he's getting the upgrades now though.
You know, it's such a big part of PvT when you're playing a defensive macro style. I know this really well. A big part of the game is just like, where are they coming from? Where is the Terran army? And if you can't keep tabs on that, if you can't intercept it, when it gets into position, it's already too late.
So the question now is, can Stats stabilize after absorbing that much damage? There's definitely going to be an attack coming out here pretty soon. Maru, first and foremost, wants to get his third up here. Oh my, okay, he actually gets the medevac.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
was
if
a
it's
nice
worth
pick.
taking that much damage on the Stalkers.
I think he's just trying to make something happen right now, which
Yeah.
makes sense, right? If you're behind like this, it's better to go and try to make something happen and have things not work out than to just be like, everything's fine, you know?
Yeah.
The meme with the dog and everything's
Dog in
on
the
fire.
room and everything's on fire.
That's Stats right now. But this is a dog that's not sitting in the chair. This is a dog that's blinking around trying to pick off medevacs.
Well, he sees the 2 forges are being upgraded. That might actually incentivize Maru to push a little bit sooner. Just because you don't want to deal with somebody who's going to be upgrading that much. Also, Maru's upgrades are already ahead.
Yeah, I think what Maru will do here is he'll hit the natural spike in army supply and just move out. Basically, no matter what openers occur, even if you haven't done any damage, Terran will spike up in army supply above Protoss in the mid-game. And then, of course, when you've done as much damage as Maru, that is going to be exacerbated greatly. And you can see here, look at this, 72 army spike against 37. There is, like, at this point, Maru's basically hit critical mass. There's almost no way for him not to kill his opponent here.
Oh, man, big storm over there. Is that going to be enough? He's set up a foothold outside of the 3rd. There are 4 Templars here. He's going to arc around this rock here with the Marauders in the front. Marauders are not the best units to storm, but you got to take what you can get in a situation like this. A lot of damage coming down. Stalkers blinking forward. Not many actually connecting with those tanks. Marines coming around. Great storm there on the bottom left. There's so much tank damage being done here, though.
Yeah, they're really well placed.
It's actually insane. Oh, I love how he had the hallucinated Phoenix go over the tank to just absorb that extra shot.
That was super cool. And look at that. Oh, my God. He gets 18 probes with a Raven in the back during all that. So, yeah, he ends up losing his army, but you can really see the difference in supplies here. It's Maru just killing it, man.
Yeah, well, Stats did a decent job holding that. I'm just worried that, you know, as Maru hammers away at this, things are going to be whittled down to such a small amount that there's not much Protoss can do. Protoss needs to have a very diverse unit composition to fight stuff.
Or a lot of charge lots.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Okay.
And 2 is not that number.
Takes out the pylon, by the way, so you can't warp in at the natural. And now he pounces as he slows down the Marauder. I'm sorry, the Mortal. I see this as maybe the point of no return.
Yeah. Well, like, even if he kills the army like 3 more times,
another one's
still
coming.
just
GG.
Yeah. There's just not much else going on, man, for him there. That was a very one-sided series right there. Maru just slapping through Stats.
I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. I was expecting Maru to win. Oh, well.
Well, I didn't know what to think. Normally, the style of Stats does reasonably well against Maru, I think. But Maru's in tip-top form. A couple things went wrong for Stats, and Maru just did not let up.
And that specific push, the 4 SCV tank Marine push, where you just set up shop.
That was cool.
Right there, and you have the option to cancel. Basically, it's going to go 2 ways. Either you're going to kill their base, or if they attack you, right before you've destroyed it, then you let those bunkers finish. You're going to kill their army and then their base. So you have to stop that before it starts. Anyways, guys, we're going to hop to a commercial. Up next, Sue versus Innovation, hopefully a closer best of 5.
2020 GSL Super Tournament, Season 1.
All right. We just had a terrible series, Maru vs. Stats. We were all excited about it. Ha ha, idiots! All of us. We're dummies. It was really one-sided, but a
Wow.
Terran moved on, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat. That means only one thing.
Yeah,
There has to be a counterbalance in the universe.
that's true. There's
The
always
yin
a
and
yin
yang.
for a yang, a
Yes.
thesis for an artosis.
And so this match is going to be the one.
It definitely could be. Sue and Innovation have kind of a similar style. They're mechanically probably the best players in the world at their races.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so we should see big armies running into each other. It should be a fun, excellent game. I think that they are both in quite good shape as well.
So we're going to start this off on the map, Nightshade. Do you have one player you think is going to take it here?
Sue.
Sue?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Sue right now, but I mean, Innovation just kind of like, he's always pretty deep in tournaments, and then he'll just like win one every now and then. So like, whenever he wins, if you're surprised, you're dumb. Like,
Well, he's been so consistent. He really doesn't seem to have any one player I'd say he loses to. I think out of all the players, really his biggest opponent has been himself. We've had plenty of downtime here in Korea for StarCraft 2, so we're going to see how these guys perform in their environment that they're most used to being in, our studio here.
yeah, especially these two.
Yeah.
These are two of the most successful players of all time.
Two of the
in
biggest
GSL.
GSL veterans.
Yeah. Sue with 6 GSL finals. I believe that's what Innovation has as well, right? He has, he
4
has
or 5,
4
right?
championships, and he has a 2nd place to Sulky. Yeah, so maybe one less, but I'm sure Sue would trade all his 2nd places for one of those victories.
Right.
Look at this, they got the same glasses on.
Yeah.
And they both
wore it
stole
better?
their glasses from Patience.
Battle of bad eyesight. Let's do it. These are very trendy now in Korea, these glasses.
With the big round ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
Harry
looking
Potter's
like
a cool look.
Yeah, the hot professor look, you know?
Is that what that is?
I think so.
I need to get me some glasses.
Yeah, man. Our game's ready to go. This is game 1. Sue versus Innovation.
Game start. Africa Freaks, Sue. Kaizi Gaming, Innovation.
All right. But yeah, I'm hoping this is just a good series.
I think it will be. So both these guys, I'd say, and we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but mechanically they're so gifted at StarCraft. I mean, Sue, especially, I would actually say both of them, Sue and Innovation, gifted at their engagements on the map. You know, a lot of Innovation's games, and people joke about him being robotic, but it is really impressive. His pushing against Zerg, the way he splits his army, the way he just is able to keep all these different parts of the game juggled at the same time, and usually out-muscle his opponent. But the same goes for Sue. He's really good at counterattacking. He's good at splitting your attention up and really forcing you to be responsible for every part of the map.
Yeah. His
Some of the best mid-game Zerg, I'd say, ever.
he's probably got the best or amongst the very, very best economy management for Zerg. And his injects are absurd. He has like the most units you can see someone have, basically.
But he's also a Zerg that does not seem to, and granted, you know, we've had plenty of downtime here with StarCraft 2, so we'll see if this has changed. I mean, the meta is constantly evolving, but he was not the Zerg that we knew the most for trying to stretch the game out as long as possible.
Well, he's
and that's
a virtuous Zerg. He doesn't use spellcasters, and he doesn't get air upgrades. So, Sue is most definitely a mid-game player.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really important thing to... I mean, one of the funniest games I've ever seen is that game where he made like 42 Corruptors that didn't have any attack upgrades and beat like a 3/3 air army. And
Right.
I'm just like, what are we doing, Sue? Like, can you just get like +1? You have so much money. Please. Upgrades mean so much, especially when you have like 42 things firing at once.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's
Well,
just,
especially just +1. You know.
just anything.
So we've got the Roach Warren coming down
Oh
now.
my god. Oh.
And this is, you know, we've seen this a million times before, but the Reaper's going to stay out here and try to control the creep for the time being. I don't think we're going to have many all-ins here early on. If we do, maybe from Sue.
Yeah.
I'd say probably not from Innovation, though.
Yeah. I mean, Innovation in the past has done some weird hellback crap, but I don't think we'll see that. I hope
Right.
not. There's nothing I dislike more than hellbat all-ins.
7 Roaches now being made.
Okay. Well, he's on 25 drones going 7 roaches,
8
so I guess
roaches
you're pretty right about
So
your
we are
assessment here.
Yeah, we are going to see him attack out here. And this is going to possibly end up colliding with the 2 Hellions and the Reaper. But so far, he's doing a really good job of keeping this disguise. The Queens are out, making the appearance that he wants to spread creep. Excuse me, he does want to spread creep, but he's making it look like there's nothing else behind it. He's
Yeah.
got a Ravager making. He wants to show these at the last possible second.
That's right. Oh, here we go.
Ah!
Aha, I'm coming. Bunker
Now notice
starts
he's
immediately.
making drones behind this. A lot of times when we see this type of rush, they do some damage, but they want to drone up and get a healthy economy behind this.
Yeah, right now a Marauder coming out, the 2 bunkers on the way. He's got to stall this out. And beautiful with the Liberator right there. That definitely will make it a little bit slower. He needs that 3rd Ravager to make it worthwhile to step under the Liberator.
Notice the Overlord placed over here so you can actually see the Liberator on the high ground. The Liberator, the only thing sandbagging the push right now.
And here we go.
Here we go. Does he move it fast enough?
Yeah, he knew that this was coming 100%. Like, very good play on both sides right there.
The Liberator sets up again. The Roaches will be able to take out the depot. Stim is halfway complete. Now chipping away at the bunker. Does he just want to turn around here?
He can't break that. He definitely screwed up the build order of Innovation a little bit, and he kept Innovation off his back, so those are 2 things. But to be fair, he did this all of 25 drones. Now, Zerk can make drones pretty quickly, so he's already up to 48, but did this do enough? Right? I would say that it was on the low end of effective.
Yeah, I think he would have wanted to do a lot more damage out of this. He didn't even get the Liberator, actually.
Yeah, if he had sniped the Liberator, I think we would have seen a lot more damage there, but Innovation it was very smart how he did it. You know?
Whoa.
That was cool.
That was crazy.
JYP knows things.
The bile just went through the camera there.
Yeah. Like, lava! I knew I was going to die like this!
Suddenly we had Minecraft lava on the screen. Well, things are going to be quieting down, at least for a little bit. He's going to send the Liberator out here. It appears that already Sue's ready for this. Oh, wow, and a counterattack coming up here. Now, the angling here with these Hellions is doing a lot of damage. Wow, it completely destroys that army.
I like that. I like that. As soon as he has Stim and everything backs up, he utilizes the Marauders and Marines he has.
Just pounces on that army.
Yeah, that was really cool. That stuff's important, too. You know? There's multiple uses for that little group of units. Make him remake some of them. Very nice. Just pull back with the Marauders and Marines, can just heal those up as the medvacs come out.
Several Lings and Ravagers are being made right now. He might be trying to get ready and fight an army in the middle of the map that would be coming as a counter push here from Innovation. And he's actually going to go around. This has been a kind of a theme of today. Is actually outmaneuvering your opponent's army and really trying to pick the fight you want to have. Okay, so his hand's been tipped there.
Oh boy. That's a fair amount of links coming up.
He's unsieging the tanks. Is there any spotter up here?
No,
I see none. Yeah.
There's not.
Well, he might as well just try to destroy as many SCVs as he possibly can.
Absolutely, and I think that is what he's going to do. He's trying to get a Roach up the ramp so he can bile the tank. Great blocking by Innovation, but eventually he does get that up there.
Oh
Throws
my
the bile
God,
down.
it
It's
lives.
not enough.
It lives.
Oh, man. Wow.
22 SCV kills, though.
Yeah, he definitely got a lot of SCVs there.
Well, that was a great play by Sue. You know, Innovation trying to come out after he killed that initial army. Su completely investing his resources in another army to try to counterattack there. This Liberator not doing much. I mean, you got to be active with what you have, but he's been able to shimmy his Spore Crawler over there and basically drive that out. So it's been 2 bases versus 3. And this is generally how ZVTs look, you know, with one player, you know, leading.
Yeah.
The Zerg leading in bases.
Kind of a funny early game this game so far, but I love the harassment going on here.
Now,
it's very, very nice. Just force him over and over to move.
In a change of pace, we have 2 Evo chambers coming down here, signaling that we want to start. The Zerg wants to start seeing upgrades come here. Oh man, is she gonna just go for this?
Oh, hits a couple biles there.
Yeah, got to be careful. In theory, you can always out micro the biles, but you know when there's this many things happening, it's tough. The Liberator finally goes down.
Wow, that Liberator actually did a lot of work over time.
Especially
very
at the end,
done.
yeah. Right now, those 64 drones to 50. So after all those 22 SCVs were killed, Innovation has still managed to macro up quite a bit. 4th base taken with still no 3rd, at least settled yet for Innovation. Innovation appears to want to try to do some serious damage with this push. We'll see if that's the case. He spots it.
Yeah, 4 tanks. It is kind of scary. Spread those correctly, put them in the right place.
But there's a lot of creep. A lot of creep he'd have to push his way through in order to get here. The biles are going to be used just to zone for the time being. This is what I love about Su. This great little counterattack here. Just comes in and starts to kill those workers.
Absolutely. Look at this. Some of the biles actually landing all right, but he micros forward here. Going to be able to take out these Ravagers. Su in some real trouble.
Yeah, Su seemed to be doing a great job until the actual punch back came here from Innovation. He knew that there was not enough Ravagers here. The first Evo chamber goes down, denying the Arbor upgrade.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Innovation did already get his +1. You know, Su put a lot of eggs in the attack basket, and I guess that they didn't all hatch.
And now, I think this army is getting thinned out enough here for the Zerg. Yep, that's it. GG. Innovation takes game 1.
Yeah, well played. Su trying to play an aggressive style here, but did not work.
The humans are winning today, Artosis.
That's good. That's a good thing.
We need that in our time.
I heard it's Terran patch and Terran maps, so I guess we'll see.
Although I will say I thought Su did a great job. He just wasn't ready for that attack.
Oh, the one that finished him off there?
The final one.
Well, I think his attack to kill the SCVs, like, it had potential, but Innovation blocked him from seeing high ground for so long that his tanks just rained fire down on the Zerg. Like,
it's
literally.
a funny trade, because when you see somebody lose a lot of workers, that does mean, I mean, they were losing those workers so they didn't lose their army.
Yes.
So then, even though it looks devastating, most of the army, even the one tank on the high ground, wasn't biled down. And then Innovation repaired everything, regrouped his army, and pushed out. And you know, the thing about Terran armies is they have a lot of sustain.
Yes, they really do.
You get enough there, and they get a foothold, it's very hard to deny them.
Yeah, a critical mass of a Terran army is very, very important. More important in many ways than the SCV account.
Okay, game 2 is ready. Let's go.
Game start. Afrika Freaks, Su.
By the way, shout out to Afrika for sponsoring some new players, Armani, Su, and Stats, making their team quite strong.
Kaizi Gaming, Innovation.
Right.
What will we have here in game 2? It might actually look similar to game 1. I mean, we really saw the play styles unfold there. Su looking for, oh, hold on.
Gas pull first.
Well, Su going for a surprise.
It's not like a super fast one.
Yeah, but it's...
Maybe he's expecting, the way the Overlords are moving make me think that maybe he thinks that this could have been a proxy.
Oh, so he's trying to hard counter that here?
Yeah, like if this was 2 proxy racks or 3 proxy racks, which, you know, is good for a Terran to mix in. It's just the way the Overlords are moving plus the build order put together, because it's not a hyper-aggressive pool.
Yeah, they're fanning out. They're fanning out in the 2 directions to just comb through the land area of the map.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he does with this. It might be a run around the Reaper type of game.
So yeah, in that last game, Innovation, mechanically, he's so good with his pushes. Just when we saw the attack come in, he identified the Ravager count was high enough and there wasn't very much else to tank for it. And when the Biles came out to try to zone him back, he just stimmed, went under the Biles. Like in front, I should say, the Biles landed behind his army. He gunned down the rest of the Ravagers and closed it out. By the way, there's a quick Roach Warren here.
Yeah, that is rather quick, isn't it?
Yes.
That's interesting.
So I think Sue is going to do something aggressive pretty quickly here.
Yeah, it definitely
We have to see
seems
if
that way.
Terran can identify that that's coming. Terran is expanding and teching, getting the factory up.
Well, the Lings force the SCV back immediately, and now the Reaper has to stand on lookout, right?
Yeah, what the Terran player fears is if the Reaper were to come out across the map and Lings were to surprise kill the SCV. So this is setting up a great blind spot in what Innovation knows about this game.
Yeah, and let's not forget the first game, Sue went for Hatch first and had 25 drones.
Yeah.
He's cut into the chase. He knows why that didn't work, Tasteless. He had way too many drones.
Oh,
now
here-
he has 19.
Here we go. As the Reaper moves out, the Lings come in. Is this going to pull the Reaper back at all?
I think you can keep going, yeah.
Okay, he knows now.
Very important scout right
He
there.
sees the Ravager egg.
Yeah.
And this is where the counter push has to come, and it has to come immediately. And Terran has to brace for impact. You have to be able to shake off this attack.
Yeah, I don't think this attack is actually going to do much. It looks like Innovation is going to be more than ready.
And from here, with Innovation slowed down, not having his base, the Zerg's going to try to drone up.
All right, here come the Ravagers. The Overlord coming for the spotting as well. Looks like he wants to make a Banshee. Of course, that is the hardest counter that there is.
So he's going to start chucking Biles up here. Just take out anything that you can get.
Yeah.
This, again, even though it's not going to kill the Terran, most likely, what it will do is it will force the Terran to start to play by the Zerg's rules.
Yeah.
It forces the Terran to adjust his builds, trying to get this reactor here.
I mean, he supply blocks him. He's killed a couple depots, forcing some repair. You know, there are some worthwhile things that are occurring from here. But as the Banshee pops out, this is going to be over.
Okay, taking out the reactor. Now it's time to leave. And yeah, the Banshee, I mean, technically a Bile can hit air, but even a novice at the game can move a Banshee around Biles. So
you could never see anyone lose a Banshee to Biles.
Yeah,
They'd have to not be looking.
And Ravagers are a pretty heavy investment. Whenever you see a Ravager taken out, it's a pretty big deal for the Zerg.
Especially when you made him on 19 supply. Or 19 drones.
I like that extractor that he made so he wouldn't lose his drone, but then he forgot to cancel it, so now there's just an extractor.
He's busy microing at home.
That'll play out nicely when he gets his fourth base and needs his gas right away.
Yeah.
He meant to do that.
He's totally ready to mine. Really good usage.
Yeah.
All right, third command center's coming up from Innovation.
Here.
Looking pretty good for Innovation. He really didn't take any damage there. Now, is Sue going to get cheeky and do some sort of attack again, or is he going to try to macro up from here? That's the
I'm
big
curious because he might have a really good follow-up. I think he knew that wasn't going to...
I think he's going to knight us.
Okay. As the Terran tries to readjust. We see Banshees have been made, which is actually a very normal response to this. Because it causes the Zerg to really respect what the Terran's doing and actually get a real answer to the Banshee. But I think you might be right, man. I think a Nidus Worm would be really smart.
Well, he hasn't made it, so maybe not. I saw him just make a couple roaches. The thing is, this looks really bad for him. And the fact that he's making a few roaches here... Okay, he's back to droning. Couple evolution chambers, so...
Especially with the Evos, it doesn't look like we're going to have...
feels like even his timing for like the maxed roach push, you know, the one that people do to third bases?
Sure, yeah.
Feels like that doesn't even exist now. Like, I don't know, it feels to me looking at this, like, all of his windows of opportunity are going away.
Yeah, well, it seems like Innovation is just stabilizing fine. He's experienced this enough. His 1/1 upgrades are already ahead of the Zergs, too.
Well, with the Baneling Nest coming up and melee attack and Carapace coming up, seems like it might just be like a Ravager Ling Bane. Obviously, years ago, a very, very popular way to play this matchup. Nowadays, I mean, occasionally you'll see it, but certainly not as popular as it once was.
And now, that early extractor fourth hatch timing, or fourth base timing is going to come into play.
Now, where's he going to take his fifth so he can get an extractor over there as well?
Yeah, well, he'll make 2 extractors there ahead of time, and then he'll...
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
really ready.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, Sue actually doesn't need as much gas as other Zergs.
Yeah. Well, he's usually making roaches and lings and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, Baneling's speed on the way. It's only at 65 workers. Station pit coming up. Oh, I wonder if he's going to go into ultras from here. I think he is. Pretty sure. That was
just banks up enough.
Yeah. That was kind of the natural follow-up to Ravager Ling Bane, was to go into ultras back in the day. And I feel like something like that could be reasonable. You just try to clear up a couple Maru pushes. Because, I mean, innovation pushes, sorry. When innovation pushes out, like, are you going to live through that first push? I feel like that's a very big question. Right? Because he's going to have 2-2 exactly when he pushes out. He's going to have a very healthy number of siege tanks as well.
Okay, it's definitely too much to try to fight over there. Innovation's going to scoop this up and then come in over there. And the Banshees, this actually would be great if he could start to isolate drones just as they're getting transferred there.
Would be nice. A couple medevacs going towards that main base right now. Harassing with the Banshees as well. Really doing his best to get a little bit more damage eked in.
Okay, he unloads over here in the main.
All right, Sue maybe a little bit slow at trying to surround this, but does get on top of it, forces it up.
Back at home, Innovation is continuing to mount a pretty scary army. And, you know, Innovation shines best when his actual pushes start.
Yeah.
We've seen, I mean, this is all very normal, the 2 medevacs, especially if there's no real anti-air besides Queens. Just sending medevacs out, dropping them, killing creep, and then pulling away. And a lot of times it doesn't seem like it does much, but really it's so important to push the creep back. I mean, I think creep, honestly, out of all the things in the entire game, is one of the strongest things there is.
Oh, yeah.
Your entire army is faster, and in RTS, if your army's faster on creep, it's just better.
Yeah.
Speed upgrades for almost anything are some of the best upgrades in any RTS game.
Speed and range upgrades are the absolute best upgrades in RTS.
So he pushes through the bottom here. This is the second group of medevacs. It looks like he might have enough. Okay, he picks up again. But not just that it gives you speed and everything else there, it also gives you vision.
Yeah, that's a huge part
vision
of it.
in RTS, I mean, the whole thing about RTS is it's a game of incomplete information.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just seeing when they're
the
coming.
more complete you can make your information, the more powerful you're going to be.
Right, that's why the first cheats in RTS games were map hacks.
That's true.
You could just see the whole game, and then you could figure out what to do by watching them.
So the Ultras Cavern's on the way. Both of them have as many workers as they want. Yeah, we have the couple of Vipers out for Sue. The only spellcaster he ever really makes, but a lot of times it's just attack moves into Vikings. I love Sue. He's like absolutely one of my favorite Zergs.
Sue's been doing a decent job just hanging on here.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to just make sure he doesn't take too much damage.
Yeah.
Because this is like the weird little sword fight that they're having before they go to war, you know? This is just the back and forth where they know that the game is, like, only little edges are being traded here. This is the real push, right here. 2-2 finished up, Innovation's moving out.
Before this, it was like 2 old World War fighter planes fighting above.
Yeah. And now the armies are going towards each other. All right, let's see what type of engagement. There's a lot of tanks there. He actually gets a reasonable Baneling hit.
Okay, the infantry has been pulled to the side here as the tanks fall like dominoes.
Wow. All right, well, he just kind of cleans it up.
Yeah, Sue just smashed that easily.
Now, Innovation's not dead. He's got a huge amount of production, a huge economy right now. He saved all of his medevacs. Yes, he lost the siege tanks, but he got drilling claws, so we don't know that he even really wants to stay on siege tanks as much now anyways.
By the way, Sue does need to get his 5th base up here. We saw the drone was picked off. Before that, there was the hatchery that was destroyed before it finished.
And there's those Vipers being really, really useful, throwing down the parasitic bombs. That is a great way to whittle down the medevac count over time. It's very annoying for Terran to try to repair those after each time that occurs.
Amidst all the chaos in this game, Sue's, instead of taking the top 5th base. He ended up going down to the bottom. Not a creep-rich location, but it may end up being ignored over here by Innovation.
Ooh, a couple good Baneling connections right there as well. So definitely some damage going down on Innovation's army. Keeping a gigantic medevac count. He's going 10 plus the whole time. But yeah, I wonder what he wants to go into to help deal with the Ultras, because as the Ultras start to get fielded, he's not going to be able to engage on creep at all.
Yeah.
Lingbane Ultra with some Ravagers in there. Marine Marauder is just not going to stand up to that.
Okay, this is a big catch here. The Army's going to try to come down and deny this from being killed. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there in time. That's pretty low. Great play, and that's not canceled. That was a kill on the hatchery.
Nice, nice.
And even though we've seen Sue fight back pretty well, seeing these hatcheries on the exterior of the map just get poked out over and over and over, it's really hard to fight.
Yeah. The Viper's still hunting medevacs right now. Innovation just continuing to poke everywhere. The anti-air is so small. I don't know if he's put down a Spire yet. That's something that you really have to remember to do. It's kind of a funny thing that Top Zergs sometimes forget. Dark is someone that comes to mind about that. But, okay, he does have it. He does have it because Corruptors are finally making. When you do go Ultras, eventually you do need to get a few Corruptors to stop this type of move from happening to you over and over.
Meanwhile, a push down here from the bottom. Oh my God, he's going to get this hatchery again.
Yeah, Innovation
again, not
really
canceled.
well.
You know, Innovation, if he wins this game, it's going to come down to the fact that there's just not been a 5th base set up here.
All right, looks like with these Corruptors out, the harassment's going to be slowed down a little bit, but Innovation has this big push coming into the 3rd base of Sue.
Yeah, this is where he might try to knock him over, but with this many Ultras and Banes, it might be too difficult to do so.
Yeah, some nice mine hits overall, but with the Ultras here, it's obviously very easy to push that entire army back. But another drop goes down into the natural. Not that much damage though, really.
But this damage is really starting to add up. I mean, even if each attack is held off here by Sue, how much infrastructure damage is he also absorbing at the same time?
Yeah, it's a good point. When you look at how many bases Innovation has, he can continually do this kind of.
We haven't had an attack on Innovation's side of the map since that first attack with the Ravagers.
Yeah.
The rest of the game has been Sue fighting to defend his own turf.
That should continue for a little bit here as well. I mean, I wouldn't mind to see a few Banelings put off to the side to try to snipe some SCVs or something like that. But when you're on this Ultralisk-based composition, I feel like you have to kind of take control and make it so that they are not really able to attack. When you go into a planetary like this, like, yeah, maybe he kills this, but he'll lose a lot at the same time. Hey, that actually dealt with that really well.
Yeah, nice.
I was holding my breath right there. It's like, are any of those going to get under?
I was just watching.
Yeah.
Another attack comes up here. He picks up, darting towards the top. He's just pulling the army like a vacuum, sucking the army back further and further towards Sue's main as Innovation just continues to grow and develop on the map.
He's just diving in. Looks like he loses some of the medevacs here and will continue to. Obviously, nothing here is making it out alive.
No, but he's just doing so much damage.
He's trying to.
He's
another big army coming up. Oh my God, he's just everywhere. Innovation just won't stop.
Yeah, this is right as drones are being transferred here. He denies this again. Now, with all that said and done, there's a lot of Ultralisks that have been incorporated into the army. That number is pretty high. And one thing you're not going to see over time in these fights is Ultralisks picked off. So there's a chance of a big Ultralisk battering ram coming across the map and doing a lot of damage. And that's when we may have identified that Innovation actually overextended here.
Well, this is kind of the funny thing because, yeah, even if he overextends, killing your opponent with Ultras is oftentimes the worst idea any Zerg ever had.
Yeah.
Because Ultras are the worst unit to kill your opponent with in the entire game. It'd probably be more effective to send drones over. Like, you cannot get up this ramp, for instance. Like, everything will just get picked off. Once you start getting bottlenecked by buildings and planetaries around and stuff gets in the way, they're too clunky. They don't do anything.
They can't run away either. Like, if the Ultras start to run, stim anything will gun it down. But he does come in here and breach this. The Corruptors are slowly eliminating all of the medevacs.
Yeah, but these are like no attack upgrade Ravager Roach, right? So there's these Ultras that can't get through anything. See how they're just getting stuck on buildings? This is why it's very tough to attack with Ultras. So Sue obviously has a much bigger, better army right now, but Innovation is kind of staying alive because the Ultras can't even do anything for most of the fight.
Yeah, Innovation is slowly squeaking out enough. It seems like the attack is getting pushed a little bit further and further back here. Here's what we're talking about. Ultra's not very good at running. Ravagers as well. I mean, Ravager Ultra is not a very strong unit composition with these two units together.
You know, well, I think it's strong defensively. It's when you start attacking like this.
Yes,
where
okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, like Sue is kind of doing it, but yeah, you can see how Innovation over time is whittling this army down still.
The supplies have plummeted so heavily in this game, though. It's crazy.
For both
right now,
sides.
Xerxes has 20 Lings being made, and 6 Marines and a Medevac and a Widow Mine being pumped out.
Yeah, I'm liking this a little bit for Innovation. Like,
yeah, same.
You can't attack with Ultras, truly. It's just, I mean, that outlined it so well. Terrans know how to place their buildings down to make it very difficult, and the Ultras just kind of all sat there while +0 attack Ravagers were trying to deal all the damage, and then Lings are coming in and getting hit by mines, and Innovation's running behind buildings with his ranged units, you know.
Yeah.
Just picking things off, whittling things down.
And just watching all those Ultras, that was the big investment of the game. The Ravagers, the Ultras. I mean, he's lost that. Now we have some Banelings, some Lings.
All of his long-term units are gone.
Yeah, now it's back to basically like early game units here. And these are heavily upgraded infantry units.
Yeah, and I mean, Ling Bane, you can kind of fight against it, but, you know, with these mines being mixed in, we're seeing Innovation gain value in a lot of these battles.
That's right, but it's become a scrappy game,
Yeah.
for sure. We're long past 2 players leading this up to a really nice, clean build-up, right? It's become an all-out brawl. The supplies are lower, and we have to watch how each skirmish goes from here on out.
That's for sure.
If, let's say, Innovation loses a whole bunch of medevacs with units in it, that could be the moment that the game goes in Sue's favor.
Yeah, it is definitely possible for it to still switch around, but I think when Sue's just scouted that top right planetary, that's the part where you start shaking your head. Because that is going to be worth so much money. You know, Innovation's economy looks much better than Sue's. Much better.
Okay, with the planetary here, it's very, very difficult to take this out. Let's see, okay, what does Innovation have as far as bases? It's got this one.
Top
well, actually,
right
that's
is
almost
the
mined
important
out.
one, and then
This one down
these
here,
two,
too.
Yeah. They're like pretty well defended. Just having planetaries there right now in this low income situation, you're not really worried about him running, you know, a bunch of Banelings in. If this was some giant game, there's a possibility he loses those. But in this type of game, no, man, those things are safe.
I love this attack up here at the top. This has been Sue's white whale. It's this base over here. Again, it's been denied. I've actually lost count of how many times. GG.
Oh, that
He
was a
just
cool
taps
game.
out.
That was a very cool game. I think Sue fought from behind and did a very good job, and then the multitasking of Innovation got a little bit out of control before the Corruptors came out to slow it down. And then Sue did the cardinal sin of Zerg, which is attacking your opponent's base with Ultralisks.
Yeah, he held up every attack, and I think he decided now's my moment. He probably should have used those Ultras, those Ravagers, to try to secure those 2 bases that he was trying to get the whole time. Mm-hmm. And in some ways, because Innovation had his bases for longer, he would start to dry out more quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can dry out pretty quickly with Meals dropping and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the kill move of Sue, I think he felt like, wow, my army's so much bigger, my army's so much better right now.
Right.
Which is true, but only in the right terrain. Yeah. No matter how many, no matter how much cavalry you have, you don't attack boats. You know what I mean? That's what he did. He sent all his horses into the ocean because he had like 1 million horses against one boat, but the boat won, obviously.
His elephants, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
We're going to go now to Eternal Empire for map 3. Let's see if Sue can turn this around or if Innovation closes us out 3-0.
Game start. Afrika Freaks, Sue. Kaizi Gaming, Innovation.
Sick.
Did you see that?
Click, 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 click. Look at my APM. Click,
My
click, click.
boxes make me go faster later. Settle down. That's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
You're spamming out your boxes.
I never understood the box spammers.
You don't box spam?
Hell no. I rally point spam.
I box spam.
Yeah, and then that happens to you sometime, and
Not
you
one-
and Innovation are both
Not
clowns.
once. You know, I'm just as bad as Innovation. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You two are probably best friends, man, with your box spam and your SCVs and probes going every which way. Meanwhile, my rally gets set 450 times a minute.
You want to know why you don't box spam?
Because I don't want that to happen.
Because you played Terran in StarCraft 1, and S for SCV and S for stop are on the same key, so when you would box spam, you could accidentally stop all your workers.
That is true. That could happen.
Can't happen with Protoss.
Gotcha.
Another thing they have, said Artosis.
Another reason that they're
Another
so
reason
easy.
to hate them.
Another reason they're easy.
There you
my
go,
friend.
Artosis. Answering your questions and giving you more of a reason to hate Protoss.
I don't need any more tasteless.
So, I'm a little bit worried for Sue here. I thought he did a decent job in the last game, but his strategy that he went for early on went how that strategy usually went in game 2, and then Innovation just got ahead and was playing better. He made it look like it was an obsolete approach to the matchup,
Yeah.
at least with those two playing.
Now, Sue's already up to 20 drones. Oh, he's getting the speed upgrade instead of a roach horn? Oh, maybe we'll see a normal game here. Maybe it's time for him to turn on the normal games.
Yeah. It's time to take this game and crank it up to normal.
Yeah. Dial it back in.
Crank it up to normal and tear off the knob.
All right, 2 red lanes. Everything is normal. And here we wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit. I hope we don't have another 3-0, man. This is not the way I had envisioned the day. 2 3-0s.
Yeah, that would be really weird. Maybe this is going to be just like on the last day that we had, where the second series starts 2-0 and then it becomes a 3-2, and it's epic. Could that be tasteless? Sue wins 2 macro games here and then cheeses again in game 5 and loses.
Sure.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that just be perfect?
He earns his way back to evening it out and then throws it all away with a cheese.
With another early roach horn.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
look at this.
the devil on his shoulder tempted him too much.
Yeah.
Remember MVP versus Squirtle?
It's just dark with horns. So he's getting Overlord speed. It seems like a very macro-esque build. Liberator coming out, some Hellions being made. Pretty normal stuff.
I like that little depot Hellion wall there.
Yeah, it's nice. If you wall that off, you know, you can take your third base, and they either have to like bust depots and go up a hill to attack you, or they attack everything through one little canal on this map. So, yeah, I kind of like that type of play.
So Sue's scouting Overlord's going to come through, get an idea of what kind of game Innovation's going to bring. Think about Innovation, though, and you know, people have been critical of him for it, but you usually kind of know what game he wants to play.
Yeah,
You know,
he knows what he's better than you at.
Yeah, he's a player that wants to just macro and have armies fight.
Yeah. So
He is
he's-
among the ilk of StarCraft players that would say that the other players are playing the game wrong. A very Terran thing to say. He embodies the
Wow.
game in a certain way.
You seem a little bit biased there, you cheesy Protoss.
And it is, yes.
Who plays the game the wrong way, by the way.
Oh! Okay, drives the Liberator away. Actually, Liberator taking a lot of damage. Probably won't be able to come back in for a while. That's a pretty big victory.
Yeah,
About
that's-
as big as you can have for a game that's going to be pretty static, at least for now.
eBays and Evo Chambers are pretty well lined up. Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a nice big game. I'm excited.
Yeah, the third CC is finished
Dude,
where the Wallen is.
yeah.
Once he has an army mustered up enough where he can actually take that third base, he'll go out. But for now, it's going to be Hellions and Reapers trying to kill creep.
It's going to be a lot more exciting seeing Su play from a non-disadvantaged position, right? Because
Well, sometimes, I mean, it's not just true for Su, but it's true in general when you have players that play like Su, is they try an attack early on, and if it doesn't work, they are just behind, and you're watching them struggle where maybe if they played a more conservative game, it would be different, but...
Well, especially when you're Su. Like, he even bashed the first attack, the 2-2 timing from Innovation at 185 supply. Like, that was
pretty crazy.
Was very well done, and then he, you know, was still fine later on. So, Lingbane Hydra going to be the name of the game here from Su. And his second Evo hasn't started, which makes me think he might go ranged attack, or he messed up. It's definitely one or the other.
So he's going to maybe go for some kind of a bust here?
No, I guess he's not going to go ranged. Like, he would have started. So, there's definitely a mistake here that he hasn't started the +1 carapace, because carapace is more important than melee attack by far. So that's quite a misclick there from Su. Quite a misclick.
It's not good if you're a Su fan, man.
No, not so much. Ooh, look at
nice.
that.
Well, this
Found
is
the
something.
one dark corner.
Yeah. Comes in now. We'll take out a couple of these SCVs.
Yeah,
And this is
really
wild.
nice.
There's a lot of Terran army moving out on the map. You can see he's setting up for an attack. Now those 8-lings are going to kill a decent amount of SCVs. Oh, he spots this, though. And he sieges up, so he's committed to this area.
Oh, Bailing Speed finishes just after the battle starts. He gets rid of the tanks and backs up, and I think that's good enough for now.
He'll need to get some more Bailings for now. When he gets the Hydras out with the Bailings, that's when you can chew through these big armies.
Yeah, Innovation trying to push with his 1-1 upgrades. I'm going to be very interested now because he scans, he sees the Hydras. We should see a second factory drop down for Innovation now.
You need that splash damage to hit those Hydras if you're trying to push forward.
You generally want to hit a big 2-2 plus siege tank timing attack against this style of play. We'll see if that's what Innovation goes for, but that was the way everyone was playing when this was the normal strategy.
Got to be careful off creep, though. Hydras are pretty bad at attacking or retreating when they're off that creep.
Yeah. They are awfully good at helping clean things up with the Lingbane strategy.
I think he still has that same blind spot in his main, by the way. We see another drop coming through here.
I think you're right, actually. And there's the second factory going down just after the 4th command. This is going to allow him to make enough siege tanks to feel like he can actually push through an army like this.
Yeah.
But Su is already on his way towards Hive. The infestation pit's about to finish, so that's exactly what we need to see out of him.
And when we see this tank army come out here, we need to see how the engages go as the tanks are sieging up. If the tanks are already sieged up and the Zerg attacks, then Zerg is most likely going to lose.
Yeah.
Especially with control like Innovations.
Well, I'm kind of excited here as well right now. Is he going to throw down a Spire in a second? He just started the Hive. I feel like with the Lingbane Hydra, there are possibilities to go into Broodlords still, even though it's not as powerful as it once was. But since he's not doing that, it seems like he'll probably go into some Vipers and maybe Ultras as his late game tech.
Okay, he's going to try to attack in here again. We want to watch and see if the Hydras can ever snipe the Medevacs. It's one of the reasons why we never see the Medevacs boost into the fight. Yeah. They need to boost out.
It's much harder to harass when you're playing against Lingbane Hydra.
Yeah, well, you have to slow fly in. And I mean, usually everything's automatically connected by creep at that point of the game, so.
You know, in the previous game, as we saw, when it's like a Ravager of Lingbane, the Medevacs just won't ever die. You always get them out. Here, it's like, oh, stay on the fringes a bit more. Can't dive in so much. All right, so Innovation taking his 4th base. His upgrades are really on point.
I mean, production's gotten pretty crazy over here for Innovation.
You can see this, that he's, again, as 2-2's finishing, right around that 185 supply. Obviously, if you don't do any harassment, you'll be maxed out right there. Now, is he going to push? It's 6 siege tanks right now. It's not as many siege tanks as I feel like I'd like to see for this push, but I feel like you're not going to get a better time than 2-2 finishing up before they have their high tech.
I think you have to make do with what you have at this moment. So he's going to siege up over here onto the high ground. Oh, hold on. Wait, too many fights to follow here. All right, back to the main one. He's going to push up over here. You can see he's debating which angle to take.
Yeah, it's hard. Going on creep with this type of army, like, Su will be able to hold.
And by the way, there's going to be so many Banelings for this attack up here.
How many Banelings?
This is really so many. Italicized, by the way. It's going to be up to the Banelings to crash in and destroy the army before the Terran, which has more Sistole. I don't know if that shows up on our stream, but we just had a huge lag hiccup.
Yeah, I think it did.
In production, or in our screen.
Look at this, a lot of the creep being taken out right now. Innovation gonna pull back off of it, knows that even though you killed that creep, it's not dissipated yet.
And right now the Zerg wants to buy time. And Terran, by the way, is not committing. Terran's a little bit unsure about this engage
he's being
as well.
very careful, which I think is completely the right play. Again, if you walk on creep, this army will kill you.
Yeah,
Zerg's defensive capability on creep is just so massive. Doesn't matter how good your macro is, Suze is good enough to kill you on creep. All right, so as the creep is starting to get away a little bit, he comes up, but I don't think that this is going to work for Innovation.
God. So much damage dealt down here, and the Hydras can completely clean up the tanks. A minuscule amount of infantry is retreating.
Yeah, that was pretty good for Sue, and he's sitting here on 85 drones very comfortably. He's got a lot of mining bases, taking another at the moment as well.
It's going to be a long time to ever get that many tanks again.
Well, the thing is, tanks don't really scale all that well in this situation anyways because of Vipers, right?
Right.
So when you have that clumped group of siege tanks, if the Viper throws out a blinding cloud, your army might be ruined during that. So I actually wonder, okay, he is still producing tanks. They aren't useless by any means, but it's very hard to actually zone those Vipers out from really ruining your army.
I think you might be right. It's going to be hard for him to push, but the tanks might at least allow him to hold his own against the counterattacks here from the Zerg.
Yeah. I'm interested what he's going to do tech-wise other than what he's doing right now, because I feel like he does need to add something to it. I don't see him winning this game with Marine Marauder Siege Tank. Sue's in a much better position than what we saw previously.
Let's see how Sue handles this, because we're starting to see the beginnings of this game look like Game 2, right? Ultralisks are out. Yeah. There's a few exterior bases that Sue's trying to get. We saw a failed counterattack there by Sue as well. Even though Innovation's pushes have lost some steam, it's still possible that by just flying around and poking out these extra bases, that can allow Innovation to maybe come back into a solid position.
Well, Sue might be a attack moving with like F2 a little bit much or something here. I feel like if you just leave a couple Hydras towards the left side, you're going to be able to punish this type of drop a little bit better, you know?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need your entire army together right now. Well, let's see. Innovation going to go ahead and just carpet bomb the natural right now. A lot of Marine Marauder coming out.
This is a lot of drones he can kill off here, and somehow this Marauder is still in the game. What? Stimming away from hatches. I don't know what's going on with that.
So, oh, run away! It's a naked hatchery. All right, so definitely doing some damage here to Sue, picking off bases. Starting to pick off a little bit of creep too. He has just so many Marauders right now.
Not a lot of other places for Terran to expand to, by the way.
I would love to see missile attacks, by the way. He still has enough Hydras out, and obviously there's a bunch of Queens all over the place. I feel like missile attacks could be really helpful against +3, right?
Yeah.
Like, Marauders don't do as well like against Hydras, let's say, right? So, I don't know, it's such a cheap upgrade. 100. Do it, Sue.
Well, this is the moment now where Innovation is going to start to really, I think, try to take another big fight. He has all these tanks. He has a lot of Marauders, which really mute the efficiency of the Banelings there.
You know, this is a really funny thing, by the way. There's only one Viper out. So 9 siege tanks. You can't deal with 9 siege tanks with one Viper.
Okay, now this is a really nice spread here by the Terran, but is there just too much muscle here for the Zerg? Oh, so many tanks on that high ground.
No, you need more Vipers than this to deal with that. See, this is where Sue's style can get him.
Yeah.
I said he doesn't use spellcasters, and I'm almost completely correct on saying that, because you can see, like, he generally doesn't make more than 2 Vipers. He only has 1 here, and it's like 9 siege tanks. Your army does not counter 9 siege tanks on a high ground where there's no creep.
And now that he's poked out that base, the only fresh expansion is actually the one that's not being mined from in the center right. At 3 o'clock?
Yeah, that's true. And, you know what just happened there? He like loses that. There's all these siege tanks. You know what he does? He doesn't start more Vipers. He starts plus on missiles. It's like, okay, no, I did want to see that too, but like, come on now. You have to deal with 11 tanks now.
By the way, he's been very late on canceling hatches in the series. I know there's a lot going on here. And by the way, this angle, Good job on the tanks, muting them for a second, but I mean, is this actually going to be worthwhile? It seems like these Marauders can kill the Ultralisks, and then it's just Hydras running into tanks.
Yeah, it was too many tanks. I swear to God, if you have 2 more Vipers there for 2 more Blinding Clouds, you are going to have such a better fight, but instead
I think
you lost everything.
And just get a lot of Lings to try to run over those Marauders, and you're going to be okay. Instead, it's 3 Ultras fighting something like 12 Marauders.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Marauders are much more expendable than an Ultralisk is.
Yes.
The Ultralisk is the big gas
They deal
investment.
so much damage to Ultras.
Whenever you see Zerg players hemorrhaging Ultralisk, especially in attacks, you know you're in trouble.
Well, Su does have a lot of Lings out right now, so that's definitely a good thing. He's making a lot of Ling Bane. That's mostly what he's spending his money on right now. Obviously, if the Lings can get on top of the Siege tanks, you're going to be all right. But there's a lot of Siege tanks, and it's a long walk to the back of those, which, of course, the Lings make very quickly. Look at that. All right, clears the Siege tanks.
Is this too little too late, though?
That's a good question.
Seems like, you know, the Terran can
well,
not always
innovations.
Medivacs are so low. The Terran can regroup and just push out with these the bare bones units here.
This is a good move. He needed something like this because
Yeah.
Innovation's economy was getting a little bit out of hand. Now, luckily for Innovation, he does have another command right there. Going to float this over. Has to get a little bit of defense down there, though, obviously.
Okay, so as that that planetary was popped, Innovation's now on the furthest. Oh, I love this. Innovation's right now on the furthest expansions that he can realistically control.
Yeah.
For this game, this might be the moment for Su to try to seesaw the game back into his favor. Straight units just out like that, I don't think you could afford to do that anymore.
Yeah, the game is tightening up economy-wise a little bit.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that after he killed the 9 Siege tanks, he did start 2 more Vipers. So just in case those Siege tanks keep coming, he's going to do a much better job next time.
I think that's good.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see when he starts these things.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely got a way of approaching the game, and he certainly defaults to that until things start to get dire enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's like, okay, we'll go 3 spellcasters it is. Or wait, I guess he lost one of them, so.
Oh, good job preempting his drop. We're not going to see drones killed off over here.
Good spread now. Innovation getting into a little bit of a defensive posture at the moment.
I might be wrong, but it seems like the 2 6 o'clock bases might be a little bit vulnerable, though.
Well, it looks like Su is actually going to go after this one at 9 o'clock. He has enough Banelings that, oh god. Yeah, no,
that was
not.
So many kills.
Got quite a few Lings there, didn't he? But, you know, with these Vipers, they're high energy. Like, you know, you throw down 4 Blinding Clouds, you're going to be able to break areas you didn't think you could.
Yeah, but again, we have another moment here where Zerg's going to attack and lose those Ultras and Lings.
And a lot of Banelings connecting with Marauders there as well.
Yeah, even those Banelings connecting on the tank, which is not ideal. Popping another Ultra.
Yeah, Su's economy is not infinite right now, so.
Yeah, where is Su really mining from right now?
Well, this base
here,
right here, and then 12 o'clock still has reasonable mineral coverage, and that's everything else is pretty low.
Yeah, there is a Zerg base being taken at the far upper left corner, but I think there's just a chance that something's going to roam through there and kill that.
Yeah, it's possible, but if Su keeps pressure on, I guess that might be the best way to try to.
Innovation with a positional advantage is actually taking all of the bottom right as well.
Oh,
and this is almost to force Zerg to take a fight somewhere. If Zerg is too calm here and doesn't fight back, Terran just has the whole map.
Yeah, and this right here, the Banelings have been so brutally cost inefficient.
Yes.
They're hitting Marauders. They're like every time a Siege tank fires, these are +3 Siege tanks. They are splattering the Banelings. I feel like he needs to give up his dreams of this base and go over here.
And in some strange way, it almost looks like Terran's itching to push this base that we're looking at right here.
He's trying to force an engagement.
And positionally, he's actually able to defend all of the bottom right as he's doing this.
Yes.
Because the Zerg's attention is really devoted over here, so it's a really great play. And he gets it.
But Su has figured this out. He did send an army over to the planetary at 9. And this is exactly the type of move that he needed.
Yeah, but
absolutely the right move right there.
Okay, I think it's a good play, but I'll tell you what, I would prefer to be an innovation spot here, having all of the bottom right. You know, he's still soaking up way more minerals and gas here. I mean, just look at how much he's already gotten banked here.
Yeah, you're certainly right. But Su needed to do something. He did something there, and now he needs to do something else. And it's getting tough because Innovation is pushing forward. He's rallying in very well. But Su going to try with the counterattack.
Killing more and more drones as they try to retreat here. He's going for the high-value units, knowing that the gases are most likely depleted all over the map. He pops out yet another Ultra. And again, as you were saying, Artosis, every Baneling we see killed off here is huge. Eventually, Zerg will only be able to make lanes.
Yeah, he's got to get that economy rolling again. He's got no gas. He's barely got minerals. Really, both of them are in the same boat.
Well, no, I think that Terran right now actually is getting a lot of gas with these extra bases down here, like this one in the bottom right.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to mine
Well, they don't
quite
even
a bit.
need that much gas, to be honest, Terran players.
But might as well soak that up so that Zerg, if he takes it back later, can't even get it, man.
Totes.
So
122 lings right now.
This is really interesting. The Terran's taken real control of the bottom right, but the Zerg has...
I want to see Su punch in towards the main again. Like, he already broke through the depot wall.
Yeah.
He already got rid of one of the factories there, and he's taking the whole left side of the map. So use the same type of tactic, the same type of strategy that Innovation was.
I think you're right. I think
attack the bottom left, and that defends the top left.
I think now would be a good time to start using Niduses to hit the main.
That would be a very high-level move.
He uses that, and then suddenly the bottom
One
right
Nidus
is
in the main
invulnerable.
base with just a smallish group of lings, like 20, 30 lings popping out.
Yeah.
My God, that would really be annoying to deal with.
Especially when Terran's maxed out, you have to actually move back there with your army. You don't just wait for whatever's popped out of the barracks to fight it.
I love the idea. Where do you find the time? Where do you find the gas to do that right now? I guess that's part of the problem here for Su. But he is starting to get his economy really back online with those top left bases. Now, these engagements that are more ling heavy definitely are doing better for Su than what we saw before with the Banes. But look at that Innovation making another command center just right in your face with the macro.
Yeah, Innovation right now is saying that he can actually gobble up more of the map here.
This is an excellent game.
Yeah.
What a
It's
wonderful
good to finally
game.
be back, man.
Oh my God.
We missed you guys.
Good StarCraft 2 games are just so good.
Like, I don't know, Artosis. I was more of a fan of the Maru versus Stats games myself. To each his own, though, right?
Yeah.
This is great.
Look at that. Yeah,
Oh,
great micro.
beautiful.
Picks up at just the right moment here as well. Looks like he will deny this command center from building.
I love this, though. Unloads over here at the tank.
Yeah. It's a rich geyser.
There's some push coming over here at the upper left, by the way. And definitely you have to have a planetary
look
there.
at that.
Oh,
No,
this
you
is
got
great.
You got to get over there as Su, and he should be able to pretty quickly. Yeah, he'll clean this up. No problem. Oh, wait a minute. There's another army behind that army. Maybe a problem.
Well, this is a lot of ultras. Blinding clouds go down, but this is where the kiting comes into play.
All right, nice parasitic bomb going down. Has to make sure that he keeps his mining intact here in the top left. More lings coming up to help clear this. Does get rid of that command center once again.
By the way, with all this fighting, the worker count's actually been almost the same.
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
So as Terran's controlled more of the lower right, Zerg's controlled more of the upper left. And
look at that. 880 lings lost.
So crazy, man.
That's like almost 1,000 lings staceless.
I mean, this game has been pretty epic. So, is Innovation actually going to mine out first? I think he might. I think Su's been beaten up so bad here. And even though
You
I don't
think it'll come to that where there's just like no minerals left?
It could.
It's possible. It's possible.
In games like
I feel like though we could see like
oh my God, very late siege, very late siege on those tanks.
Those ultras are all up in his stuff, man. Look at that, erases those tanks so quickly. Getting on top of these marauders as well. The splash damage from the ultras so good. Some great blinding clouds coming down as well.
These marauders have stimmed so many times. They've one hit and they all die.
Oh my God, look at this. Su chasing him across the map. He does bring it up to a planetary. That planetary worth its weight in gold right now. Innovation with a counterattack towards Su's main as well.
Takes out this base over here. Not that there was that many resources there to mine from. He's going to start taking out the tech, and that actually, oddly enough, is maybe the most important tech to take out is the pool.
Yeah.
When you're almost completely mineral reliant, to take out that spawning pool is huge.
So
SCV's
true.
being pulled. Can he get the Ultimus Cavern as well over here? I think he will. There's just not enough lings over
What
here.
are you even going to make? He can't even make units anymore. What's he going to make? Mutas at 0-0? I don't think so. Oh my god, trying to take out this planetary. The army coming up to flank, though. Dealing huge damage. Picks off both the Ultras. There's no Ultras. There's no Ultraless Cavern. There's no Lings. There's no spawning pool.
He's going to have to be remaking that somewhere very soon here.
Dude, he can make Infestors and Queens right now. And Vipers.
This is such crazy play here by Innovation.
Just started his
There
pool.
it is. Okay, but this is a great window of time. Look at the minerals that Sue is floating.
I know, he can't
It's
spend
crazy.
them. He's lost over
1,000.
Lings. Dude, Innovation can just run around the map and kill everything right now. Sue needed to remake that spawning pool minutes ago.
You know that scene in Blade where he killed all those vampires with a ninja star?
The thing that went around the room?
Went around the room? Yeah, I think Innovation's army's about to do that to all of Sue's bases.
He might.
Yeah.
How many larvae does he have? Let's see what the production tab looks like in just 3,
2, 1,
0,
-1,
negative
2, and 42 links we made.
Anticlimactic. He actually doesn't have that many queens at this point. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, there's not much larva out, actually.
In fact, he has no queens left here. Yeah, in fact, he can't even make queens without the spawning pool. My God.
Oh, yeah.
He just, dude, crazy.
You know,
the
it's
counterattack
so rare that you see
kills the spawning pool
Yeah.
at 25 minutes into the game is the most impactful thing.
Oh. Okay, so these are the two most important bases. By the way, the yin-yang effect on this game is very real. He's actually taking the center right again. But, you know, Innovation just sweeping through here and taking out base after base
There's no
after
more mining
base.
for Sue. He's got 20 minerals. He has to do it with this army.
There's so many Marauders in here. It's so insane.
Oh, wow. This game was absolute madness. And killing that spawning pool, really, that was like such a clutch key moment.
This was one of our best
He couldn't
games
defend
so
either of
far.
his bases, and now he has no money to make more units.
Yeah.
And that's that.
It gave Innovation enough time to win with his attacks, and there was no easy way to trade in.
What
and
a
because of that,
superb game.
he was not able to mine GG. He was not able to mine the resources necessary to make technical units that could then fight Innovation's army. Innovation, one of the best TVZs we've seen in a long time.
That was amazing. In 6 months at least. All right.
Yes.
No, that was just a great game.
All right,
from both
Innovation.
sides. The spawning pool snipe. You see very few words between those two after that game.
Yeah.
That's a game that hurts. That hurts your whole body. You get a full body ache from that game.
Yeah, no, that's where if you're Sue and you have a game like that, you probably need to lay down for a little bit. The heat you're going to have in your head, the anger. If you're watching your friend and your friend plays a game like Sue did, after the game's done, do him a favor. Don't talk to him.
Don't talk to him.
Don't look at him.
Don't be like, oh, that was rough, man. Good play. Don't do that.
Yeah, and definitely don't say, hey, when he killed your spawning pool, why didn't you make another one immediately? Don't say that.
Don't say it's just a game. That's
Yeah.
a weak mindset.
Don't
Something,
say,
something
don't be
means
mad.
Something.
We're going to a break, guys. When we come back, Deer versus Cure is coming up next.
2020 GSL Super Tournament, Season 1.
Welcome back, everybody. What a crazy Game 3 that was.
It was an awesome game. What a fantastic
Such a good
game.
ending. You know, it goes to show you how that first, I mean, literally the first tech building for Zerg. I know we don't normally think of it as tech, but it is. You need that. You need the spawning pool in order to make lings. But in the end of the game, when gas is sparse, yeah, that's the most important building. He kills that off, and you can't make anything else.
He couldn't make anything, man.
People could take lings for granted in super late game, right? I mean, but yeah, I mean, you're usually throwing them away in fights so that the other units do damage. But if you don't have that, guess what? The Ultras get shot down, the Hydras get shot down, and then you don't have
those either. I mean,
anything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, moving on, we have another PVT.
Yes.
It's going to be Deer going up against Cure. These
Now-
are two of the most highly respected players that don't deliver all the time.
Yeah, they're both very, very strong, but you're right. They tend to be overshadowed. I think this should be a close match, though.
To be fair, Deer has won a GSL. You know, he was a Royal Roader, in fact. He also won a big WCS tournament. I mean, he's had some success, whereas Cure
But
not as much.
Deer's also had some major flubs. There's been
Yes,
there's
he's
been moments
absolutely
where
had major flubs.
he is not looking like the guy that we knew before.
Yeah.
So we got to see where he's going to be at now today. I think this is probably supposed to go to Deer, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Kira's in ridiculously good shape. Wins tons of online cups, full of top pro gamers. So we shall see about that. Kind of excited about the map pool. I'm hoping that eventually we see Golden Wall, but not holding my breath.
Okay, game 1 is ready. Both players have now joined our lobby. The map will be on Everdream. Do tell your friends to join us and tune in to the quarantine edition of the Super Tournament while the world fights coronavirus by each person isolating themselves and washing their hands and doing the right thing there. You might as well have some fun and watch some good old StarCraft 2 and make the best you can out of it. Game 1 is ready. This is Cure versus Deer.
Game start. Kaizi Gaming, Deer. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure.
All right. I'm just excited to see what these guys bring.
Yeah, we definitely had a game archetype going on with Maru versus Stats, you know.
yeah.
They basically both came in with plans, and one was clearly working out better than the other.
I gotta say, Kier definitely does not play the same. Look at that offline match history. Deer just slaying Kier. But that's not really the state of how good they are right now. Kier is absolutely one of the top 4 Terrans in the world at the moment.
Sure.
He's just really, really good. Yeah, I mean,
I think after game 1 from Deer, we're going to have a better idea of where he's at. And I'm not knocking on him. It's just, you guys have been watching GSL for a long time. You know, sometimes the games just do not look like the Royal Roader Deer that we used to know, you know?
Yeah. He's really good when he's good, and then we had a couple seasons where he just like lost to the first unit that attacked him over and over, and it was really weird, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Now he does go core before Nexus, sends that scout out there. Reaper expand, of course, here for here. Checking around for proxies a little bit.
I'm so glad to be back in the studio casting again, man. We had such a long downtime.
I know.
It's
But
crazy, man.
it just feels so good to have GSL specifically back.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
The
casting
StarCraft 2
ASL as
GSL
well,
tournaments,
but
yeah.
like GSL is something very special about it.
You know,
it's just so much fun.
Well, this is really our baby. And also, you know, It was such a long downtime. It was the longest downtime you and I have had casting StarCraft 2 ever.
Yeah.
In the 10 years plus of the game being out. I mean, it's crazy, right? So it was weird. You know, I'm so used to coming down here and hanging out in the studio.
Yeah, it's never again. Never again.
Yeah, please no.
I don't think it'll ever happen again, to be honest, like that. But no, it's just there's something nice about it. Having this super tournament, just having this regular. Ooh!
Oh wow, Dark Shrine hidden, Starport hidden at the top, Gateway hidden over here as well, probably to accelerate warping.
This looks like a PvP right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Deer
Except
coming with some
expansions.
plans.
Oh, this is exciting. This is not something that you see. The Twilight is a very normal opener. Obviously, we see a lot of Blink openers. Oh my God, he's going to scout that as well.
This is not finished yet.
Oh, that's crazy.
Say goodbye to your.
Oh, that's funny that it attacked.
I didn't even realize what was going on at first.
Yeah. That is really funny. And now, because he didn't finish the shade, the Dark Shrine gets scouted.
Yeah.
I want you guys to just...
This is the butterfly effect of bad gameplay here.
This is the biggest butterfly effect I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it looks like he wants to go in... Wait, is he going to go into a BC? That's wild. I thought maybe he was going to go lib range or something, but look, just if he had not finished the shade, if he had been a little bit quicker and canceled that shade, he would have killed the SCV, and the Dark Shrine would not have been scouted. Instead, the Dark Shrine is scouted. As soon as the Dark Shrine is scouted, the DTs are worth like 1% of what they were going to be worth.
Yeah.
You know? There was like a chance for these to do damage. Now there's not. They can maybe pin him in his base a little bit, and that's it. Like, watch. There'll be a scan, and then the turret's done. That's it. Okay, so there, one dies immediately. The scan, the DT. No, sorry, buddy. The turret's done. Wow. Because we didn't finish the shade.
I know.
God, craziness. Okay, so a Banshee being made, but he has the Fusion Core, so I'm really excited to see what he wants to get out of this. Obviously, the most recent patch, for anyone who did not know, changed some upgrades into the Fusion Core, so it's a little bit easier to do things like upgrade Liberators. But yeah, it's going to be a BC, which is... I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at, which excites me. This is exciting.
We want to follow the...
I love BC versus Protoss games. I love them.
Well, I want to see what the Protoss unit composition is, because I don't know if he's necessarily expecting this or not. Keep in mind, this was a scouted proxied star.
No, I don't think you expect this. There was a very short meta of there being a lot of BCs against Protoss, a very short metagame of that after Nathanius invented it.
That's right, after Nathanius came in here.
When he showed the world.
That's right.
But yeah, it's not a common thing at all. I think he was going for a lot of surprise factor with this.
Yeah, there's a whole mind game going on where, like, you float the starport away and people might assume that it's not going to be used, but then you land it just away from where it was spotted and use it again.
Well, I think he was planning on BC the whole time, I think.
Okay.
I think so, because he was starting the Fusion Core, right?
Actually, that's a very good point, Artosis.
So, and the thing is, the Fusion Core could mean multiple things.
He's going for a two-base push, basically. He wants the BC to soak damage. Whoop.
This is really funny.
Did that come out over there?
I love it. Okay, so the BC going to go ahead and put some pressure on. These stalkers are going to have to get recalled, I think.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The push is going to come up here in the front, and then there's nowhere to move these stalkers around.
Yeah.
And he just moves the BC back.
Yeah, the BC is very annoying, but it takes a long time to kill.
He needs to pull these stalkers back.
Dude, there's 2 shield batteries here. He needs to utilize them before they die.
I know.
He's going to stop this army. And look at this. The BC comes back in. He's like, got a pincer.
One Colossus coming in over here.
I think Deer is a bit confused right now.
Well, I can't really blame him for that. This is crazy what we're seeing.
Oh my God. And the Reaper wall getting punished once again. This is just a wild, wild game.
I mean, there's so much infrastructure getting obliterated just on the...
He has no Cybernetics core anymore, by the way.
Oh,
his Disruptor died.
I didn't notice that. Did that get destroyed as well?
Yeah, the Cybernetics core is gone. So he cannot even make Stalkers. It's all so sad. It's all so sad.
Oh my God. Well, I don't think there's any way to recover.
This
is just.
This looks real bad. I have not seen this strategy ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, we've had some
Like maybe
time
this
off.
is something that exists, but I don't know. It feels like Deer doesn't know either. That's what it feels like watching this, because I almost feel like I'm watching a broken computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like normally you hit positions where you kind of know what to do and you're being very active and stuff. Instead, like all his stuff's just sitting there and he's like just randomly throwing like a disruption ball down the ramp and it's not working.
Yeah.
And, like
the Colossus came out seeming to not answer anything as bunkers finished.
Yeah.
The Stalkers went right back to try to fight the battle cruisers. Well, a battle cruiser, I should say. Well, he just set up camp right at the entrance. One thing we are seeing very popular today is the usage of bunkers to just fortify positions. This actually
that's super cool.
This strategy was actually one of the oldest strategies ever in StarCraft. It was used in StarCraft 1, is you just sprung bunkers outside their base and set up tanks and just slow push from there.
And map makers fixed it so that would never be used again. Look at that. He jumps the VC down to the SCVs to repair. I love it.
Beautiful.
Instead
You know,
of
we saw
jumping at home.
VCs used a lot against Zerg last year because you could just keep doing damage and then jump it back home and repair it and then send it out again.
Yeah,
you
it's
could
still,
do that here.
You still see it too.
Yeah, but it's the same idea as here. You just jump it to the SCVs, repair it.
Sure.
It's like how many probes and stalkers and sentries did this kill?
And you don't
Enough.
actually want stalkers against this comp as much, right?
Yeah.
It's like bunkers and siege tanks. That doesn't feel like it's a very valuable unit.
So there's going to be a counterattack here. I'm not clear on what this is going to do, though.
No, he doesn't have enough to kill him. Like, I mean, you have to do something. You can't just sit in your main base. So, kudos to him for being out here and trying it.
It's 25 workers to 69. GG. I mean, Kier takes it. Easy peasy.
Wow, that was just a very super cool strategy.
By the way, Deer was always dominating Kier in other matches, so to see this happen now is a big change. But that game was quite extraordinary.
It was very different.
A scouted starport that accidentally had an Adept shade out of position, forcing the SCV to flee in a specific direction away from the Adept if it were to come back in there, forcing the starport to remove, forcing unintentionally the SCV to find the proxy DTs, which allowed the Terran to then shut that down, which then allowed the spotted proxy build that we saw at the start of the game work out.
Yes. Yes, it is a wild butterfly effect scenario, but it's exactly what it is.
I mean, that's pretty wild.
Right. Purity and Industry, our next map.
Can they live together?
Well, these two sure can't. One of these players is going home.
Our game is now loading up in one of the weirdest games we've seen here that resulted in one of the most unique wins I've gotten to cast in a long time. Let's see what happens in Game 2 of Deer versus Kier in the GSL SuperTournament.
Game start. Kaizi Gaming, Deer. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure.
Of course, no longer with Jin Air. Excited to see what he can do outside of the shadow of Maru. I still kind of think of him as a Jin Air player, though, you know?
Well, he was on that team for so long.
Yeah.
So, we've had some crazy games already on this map. I don't know how it's going to look with these two players.
Yeah, that
but
SOS game was so cool.
Yeah, the shape of this map is pretty unique because they both start out, you know, in the corner, somewhat close by air.
Yeah, somewhat close by air,
but
but
there is interference there.
Yeah, and the map itself is really, truly large.
Right.
So macro games probably much more likely. It's going to be very hard, especially for Terran to walk across the map and kill their opponent. Because by the time you get there, they will just have like an additional 2 rounds, right?
Yes.
So whereas theoretically you'd have a better chance of killing as Protoss because of the warping mechanic, right? But
yeah, one would think.
Yeah, but still, it seems like a very likely to see longer games here, basically. I want to see BC again, man, so badly.
Oh, yeah.
So badly.
I mean, I think my favorite game that we've had on this map, anyway, hasn't been very many casts, but man, the SOS game with the
oh, yeah.
2 carriers
Yeah.
just poking at the bottom. You know, because of the way the map's shaped, a lot of times you start out, for instance, in cross spawns, right? And that can lead to some games we've definitely seen. Obviously, they're very interesting, but because you're both having to stretch and reach the bottom left, assuming that the game were to go on and on and on and on and on, makes for some interesting plays. We've also seen the giant area that's right down here used occasionally to hide certain techs because it's just so out of the way.
It is really out of the way.
Not just expansions there, but just other techs as well, because it's like so inconvenient to try to check for stuff there.
Sure. By the way, the SCV popped up, saw a Chrono Boost gateway in the main base, and no Nexus, right? So he knew one base tech, but this is actually, it's a very quick Oracle. And even though there are the Bubulas to slow down the Oracle, it still gets there very, 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 very fast. And right now, Kier doesn't have any anti-air. His anti-air is all in the middle of the map. It's those Marines that we just saw attacking the Adept.
Yeah, the Adept that was nearly killed off but managed to escape just in time. Now, let's see what happens as this comes over here.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. Okay,
Well,
he
he's
brings
come back.
Marines back. That's so important.
But it seems like this would be something you just have to be somewhat
Oh,
ready
look at
for.
that. He flies right over that. That's surprising to me.
Well, it looks like it's less Bubula
Yeah,
appearance to get
he's
through.
dodging Bubulas, but
Yeah. Oh
thus-
my God! Why did he leave? Why did he leave? What? What? He must have not seen that.
There's, how could that even be? Oh, he had the Widow Mine as well.
What?
He had a Widow Mine.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's already a shield battery here, a Stalker, an Adept, an Oracle. That's enough. Oh, nice couple of Hellions. All right, 6 kills on the Oracle.
I want to see what the worker count is overall here when this is all done.
22 to 26, with Deer in the lead.
The medevac's now looping out, closer towards the center of the map. It's a funny back and forth with, you know, the oracles and then medevacs with Marines, because over areas where you can't land, neither can engage each other.
Fleet Beacon.
Here we go.
Okay. I think it's
love
going to
this
be
map.
Tempest.
Yeah. Well, when we first had our a game with us.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh.
Oh man, dear.
I mean, he should just hold this, right?
Well, you can
Little
target
bit,
down
little
the
bit
oracle.
sloppy. He does have a shield battery over there. Okay. Doesn't lose the Stalkers.
I feel like we're seeing a game with 2 players who are very good but are not used to this map yet.
That
This
is a
has
fair
been-
assessment.
There's been a lot of bumps
It's a very new
on
map.
both sides.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. Obviously, it takes a while to get used to a map as different as this one.
Now, with the Tempest coming in here, a couple things we want to point out. If Terran spawns in the upper left, the add-ons point towards the right.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So, you know, even the placement of this factory, for instance, is pretty significant. Whereas, oh, now hold on. Is he going to push from somewhere else? I'm imagining that the Tempests are going to be in the Bubula area,
Yes, 100%.
chucking
that's-
damage down there while Protoss tries to push on the ground.
Yeah.
And you basically split Terran up where they can't really fight and defend in 2 locations. And something has to give, right?
Well, he's actually upgrading Cyclone Lock-On. So that's actually quite a good counter to these Tempests. So I think that Kier is going to be all right against this, but I still like what Deer's doing. This is exciting. Making quite a few gateway units right now, maybe to put some pressure on at the same time. Oh, he actually has the Tempest with the army.
Now, I didn't expect this.
No,
but
I didn't either. This is cool, though. I like it. You can really defend the Tempest a lot extra right there. Very interesting strategy.
Is the ground army strong enough to really complement the Tempest here?
Well, he added a few gates, so after he gets a couple rounds, yeah, I think it's going to do all right.
Because right now it's 2 Stalkers and a Sentry.
Yeah, it's going to be, but he has like 4 gates now, I want to say. So you add in like 4 more Stalkers to this, right?
Ooh.
And the Tempests don't do nothing. See? They do something. Aha!
Well, The third is done, but there's no SCVs there.
He really.
This is,
oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. I was just going to say, this is like basically a push from the Protoss.
Yeah. No,
which you don't normally see in this matchup. The Protoss is not normally pushing the Terran, but I guess here we are.
This is pretty similar to Classics cheese that we saw last year.
Tempest 3-shot a Cyclone, right?
It's 3 or 4, I believe.
I'm actually just not sure. We don't get to see these kind of engagements that often.
But Kier right now, he's waiting to make sure he has enough to lock on and really, really punish here. I believe he has 4 Cyclones right now, and he's done the upgrade. I really like how he's just waiting far back. He's like, yeah, I'm going to lose a little bit, but we have to have this engagement perfect.
And 3 is a great number here. Already he's just one-shotting the SCVs. Now there's going to be a moment where Terran is going to pull the trigger and dive, and that's when these Tempests need to be over the shield batteries immediately. And does he do it?
Gets one of them. All right, the Army actually coming up now.
Is this Army?
Oh, he gets another one. Very well done.
Is this Army good enough to do anything?
No, it doesn't
like
seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. I think he dealt with this just perfectly. He has so many Cyclones in here, a fair amount of Marines as well.
Okay, so the 2 Tempests already taken out. There's another one that's going to merge in here with the rest. Is there a sentry with this Army? I don't see
there
one.
There was, and it's dead.
Because, you know, a force field that blocks that, you know, anything on the ramp, that would be huge. But
even a Guardian shield would have been gigantic here.
He's taking out the shield batteries. There's not going to be much more sustain here on the map.
God, I think that Kier's Army is just good enough. This many Cyclones even made the second factory. Oh, this is... What a handsome defense from Kier. Look at that.
Okay, another Tempest
punishing
is
gigantic. Yeah, he's got to do that. Yes, 100% finish it.
What?
What are we waiting for?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, I need 2 more Cyclones in there before I finish that. I don't know, man. I think that was like his best shot.
I'm worried that even though these Tempests are doing a lot of damage to the ground, the overall the rest of the Protoss ground army is too flimsy, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, this is 3 base at 2. I mean, eventually the economy play is going to start to benefit Kier by a lot.
Yeah.
Deer is basically investing in this attack working. Oh my God.
No, the amount of Cyclones is getting so out of control.
Okay,
Look,
I think the strategy is actually just obsolete, is the problem.
Well,
it's cool.
Kier definitely snapped its neck.
Yeah.
And actually, I heard that when this build actually came up last year, a very similar build to this, and if I recall correctly, again, it was Classic that did it. It was on Cyber Forest. And I remember SOS said he knew exactly how to kill this, and obviously SOS and Kier were on the same team for a very long time. And it had to do with Cyclones and getting the right amount to lock on to kill the Tempests.
Yeah.
And we see, I mean, he just really leaned on these Cyclones to hold this.
He's gonna bring this all the way home. Well, SCV's stuck in the back, but you get the idea. He just wants to try to take this fight. He's decided he has an insurmountable lead. He's happy to have SCVs tank damage. And there's just so many Cyclones coming in here, and that should be, I think, GG. I mean,
yeah,
this is
really
so much damage, and again, there's really no way to recover.
Look at that.
Wow.
The lock-on's just dealing ridiculous amounts of damage, and that is going to be that. Kier just with a beautiful hold here.
Yeah, Kier really exhibiting a deep understanding of just the game overall. You know, he's really showing he has the instinct, too.
Yeah.
GG.
Really clean, awesome play.
2-0 lead for Kier right now.
These Terrans are so strong. Terrans tonight, 8-0 so far, 8-0.
Yeah, that's right. How about that? You know, Deer showed that he's definitely got a really cool strategic take on that map, but it didn't work out at all. I mean,
yeah, it was a cool idea. I thought he was going to go through the Bubulas for sure, because it just felt like this is like, I don't know. Like, that is a strategy you could use on any map if you weren't going to utilize that airspace that was so close, you know?
You know, it almost seemed like Deer thought that the Tempests were going to counter the Cyclones early on, but it was the opposite.
Well, they do a little bit
at
early
the start,
on,
yeah,
but he just didn't engage. He just let him kill all his depots. He killed like 4 depots for free.
Yeah.
Kier was like, no, I'm not touching that till I'm ready.
Yeah. And then eventually there was just enough, and suddenly whatever Deer thought he had managed to pull off was the total opposite. All right, we're going to go to Nightshade for game number 3, and this might be another 3-0.
It's definitely possible. Kier's looking better tonight.
Sometimes we have nights like this. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Game start. Kaizi Gaming, Deer. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure.
Okay, so, you know, it seems like if we have a normal game from Deer, I guess we haven't had that yet, now that I think about it. Game 1 was actually exceptionally weird. He went for a DT rush that was spotted.
Yeah.
That was the butterfly effect game. And then in Game 2, I mean, I do welcome unique strategies like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it goes to show you that there's still so much more we can learn about this game. But, I mean, I don't know, man. Kier just seems like bigger, faster, stronger. I know I've used that expression before, but this is what we're seeing here now.
You've never used that before.
Thank you, Artosis. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that historically, Deer always dominates Kier.
Well, times do change.
Yeah.
And Kier, I mean, it's been a long time coming for him. In fact, we had a couple false starts, if you recall.
Right.
Where it was thought he was going to do real well. He started playing well and then just gets eliminated. But if you know, I follow all the results online with the pile and show each week and everything, and Kier has won so many tournaments lately. He's in the finals of a Limo League all the time. He's playing the Kung Fu Cups. He's just, you know, and these are tournaments that have other top Korean players in them, and he's really doing well. So I think it's time to translate that to this studio, you know?
You know,
and
yeah,
this might even help him that there's no crowd.
Oh God, that's a good point, actually. You know,
It's somewhere in between a real studio match and an online match, you know?
it is a thing that some players struggle with. You can talk to some pros and they say they actually want a big crowd.
Yeah.
They enjoy that
Do you
experience.
thrive off the energy, or does
Yeah.
it add pressure to you that you don't know how to deal with correctly?
Yeah,
It's
and
a
other
big
people
question.
find themselves to be just very uncomfortable and antsy and anxious. And it does seem like Kier is the latter. He's somebody who obviously knows how to win. He grinds a lot. He doesn't give up easily. You know, he's always been somebody who I think has not been quite satisfied with his performance and has wanted to do more and believes that inside of himself he has the ability to do more. But today we're really seeing him look strong. Oh, man.
Well,
All right.
it's a good scout. Yeah, I mean, I want Kier to do well. I really enjoy his style. I enjoy watching him play.
Okay, so this is as late as you can possibly deny a barracks, so we're going to see what Kier's plan B is here.
So that's one of 3 Raxes. Mules should be able to build buildings, by the way. That's one of 3 barracks, and obviously he wanted that to be hidden. He's starting another one at home, so he's trying to do like a very bio-heavy opener. This is a very old opener. Proxying it isn't a normal thing, but just going 3 racks pressure, it's like, I actually thought we were going to see a resurgence of it because of the speed of the stim upgrade.
Yeah.
I thought that we might see that as a way to bust down Protoss third bases really easily, but yeah, we haven't actually seen any resurgence of it. This is the first time I've seen it since that patch, since the stim, the quicker stim patch. And now that he's scouted, like if you just built that racks in your main, he just doesn't know that you're going 3 racks, and he'll probably take a third quicker. If he sees that there, he's alerted that something weird is going on. So, yeah.
Good.
Good. Good. Die, Stalker. Dear, I don't want you to win any maps tonight.
What I was actually trying to think of, I was going to say good tactic to just wait right on the high ground, but it didn't come out as fast.
I thought you're just a
I'm
huge
like, good.
fan.
I hate stalkers. Blink's almost done. And, dude, I don't know if we're going to have Protoss win today. I don't think we're going to see a Terran lose, Artosis. It's possible.
It might be. Luckily, we have a couple Zergs playing next, so that'll fix things up for us.
Yeah, that'll have to tide us over. I can't believe we've had
That'll leave
2
Dark
3-0s already. I thought that the 2 games, I mean, granted, I loved the second series that we had here today, but, man, domination by the Terrans.
Yeah, they're killing it. They're playing very well.
So charge lots is the tech of choice here as Protoss takes the third.
Interesting, no forge. Ah, there it is.
2 forges, yeah.
Yeah. Just wondering a little bit about that. Normally you're going to want to get that +1 armor upgrade very quickly. But double forge, good way to do it.
Yeah.
There's going to be a very large bio push coming out. A larger one than people are actually used to right now, because again, this strategy has not been popular for quite some time. He's going up to 6 gates.
Good spot there with the probe.
Yeah, truly.
He's going to try again. He backed off to make it look like he was returning, looped back around, coming here from the top. I don't see anything on the minimap that's going to spot that now. We are watching Terran really build up to a push that's going to be pretty strong. We'll see if Protoss can deal. But some of that's going to be dependent on how he responds to the drop that's about to come here and hit the natural. And Protoss is really investing in gateways. Going for a beefy tier 1 army.
He needs to. But I actually kind of wonder what this is going to look like when these two butt heads. Okay, well, if he actually gets good...
How dare you call them butt heads, Zertosis? Oh, my God. Perfectly handled there by Deer.
Yeah, that was really beautiful.
So he's going to come through here. Meanwhile, a third CC is being landed, or not landed, it's being built actually, right over at the third base. So I don't know if we're going to see Protoss try to come out and punish that. So far, all the drops have been shut down pretty easily.
He saved the medevacs, though, which is really good.
That's true, but right now I think this is a little bit better for Deer. Basically, everything's gone Deer's way so far.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I wonder what this push is going to look like. Like, I thought for sure Kure was going to try to hit some sort of +1 attack timing, but like he went just the 3 racks into third base and then added his additional racks on, which is a very kind of normal way to do it. So this has given Deer enough time to get a big enough army that I don't think that you can just go attack. Like, you can push out and whatnot, but I don't feel like this is like an attack timing that just wins the game, you know?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't just win the game, then Deer is well on his way to Colossus Tech in 2-2 and will be feeling very good about his chances to win if he lives through this.
Is there anywhere specifically you want to attack here, I wonder, as Kure? Because there's definitely some spots. Protoss is really just prepared for the attack.
Well, he has either 2 mines or 4 mines. I think it's 2 mines right now, but maybe a couple more are coming up. I think you can push the ramp with mines if you want, or go in, yeah, there's the 4. This is the situation where you can kind of like poke and then try to get the Zalts to charge towards you and use the mines.
There is a Warp Prism actually out kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. I thought he might be trying to use that to counterattack on the third. He's edging in again. Staying away, if he gets too close, the force fields can chop him. Chop off a chunk of the army.
Look at this beautiful control from Kure. He's
Yeah.
laying down these mines. He's continually repositioning here. He's trying to force Deer into a bad engagement.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very good by Deer. Very good by Deer. But the Kure with the unburrow on the mines, beautifully done.
Yeah. An excellent
Really
job
big
there.
moment.
Minimal amount of zealots coming in here, but that's enough that can take out all those SCVs that are mining over here. And this really pulls away from the momentum of Kure. Kure cannot reinforce this anywhere near as much. The Disruptor shot is amazing, and somehow it doesn't connect with anything. But you get it. The idea was there.
No, the
you
idea
saw
was
it too.
Oh, there we go. A good Disruptor shot right there.
I'm a little bit worried about Kure continuing to try to push through here. Meanwhile, another drop over here in the main.
Oh, God, the force fields are real right there. Deer is playing beautifully here. Oh,
Yeah, well, he's just being more
Beautiful.
patient right now
Awesome.
than Kure is. I think Kure is really trying to force something
Yeah,
to
he's got
happen
it.
that's just never going to work. And GG, finally!
all right. Finally, someone fighting back against this overpowered
These
race.
scumbag OP Terrans.
God. Okay, that was really good by Deer. Kure's build, though, was off, let's not forget, right? He was trying to go for a 3-Rex play with a proxy. One got scouted. That kind of slowed everything he was doing. He tried to go into a normal game, and I think he was controlling his army well. He had some very good ideas. And then Deer's small counter-harassment, the 3 Zalts to the third, and then the Prism into the main. The combination of those 2 things forced Kure to just dive. Like,
Yeah.
he wanted to take his time on that push and, like, micro it out and grind down the Zealot count, and he was unable to do so.
Really patient play by Deer, too. Just using the bare minimum to hold off the attack and letting his drop do all the work for him. Eternal Empire.
Okay.
Game number 4. Let's see if Deer can start to continue his work that he did in Game 3. Deer historically always, literally always beats Cure. So let's see if it can be turned around this time. Let's go.
Game start. Kaizi Gaming. Deer. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure.
It was a fun game.
So we've had a lot of shenanigans in these games. People hiding buildings, them getting scouted. A lot of this is players trying to mix it up and really not play a normal style. In the last game, Cure did hide a barracks. It was spotted at the last possible second to both kill the SCV making it and deny the barracks from finishing. So we got to see Cure come up with a contingency plan. The idea was good, but Deer's response and play was better. I wonder what we're going to have this time around. Are we going to continue to see a pattern of these two players trying to play around a normal game? You know,
yeah, I'm not sure. I hope that Deer pulls it back and plays some more standard play.
Okay.
Because yeah, the first 2 games where he tried to be cheeky really did not work out. Like,
Yeah.
super duper did not work out.
Well, especially the Tempest game was probably the most alarming, right? Because the Tempest game, it didn't...
The thing is, games like that are so teched out. It's such
Right.
just a build order / strategy victory.
Right.
It's the reason why no build like that is common is because it can't work for long. Like,
You think it's too much of a gimmick?
it's way too much of a gimmick. Absolutely. The thing is, that's why it's also good to mix in, because it's so uncommon that people don't always know how to stop something like that. But Cure, it was very clear,
making
knew
a-
exactly how to stop it, and I think that has to do with teaming with SOS.
He's making a bunker behind the minerals.
Yep, he sure is. It's a cute little
So now
move.
we know that this is going to continue to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, this will deny mining for a bit. It's really, I like it. Unless...
No, he can't stop it. No way.
Unless...
No way, bro.
Unless...
No way, bro. No. Second Reaper coming up.
That's really cute. That's just, it's very annoying.
Look at this. He can keep hitting the Adept.
Yeah, yeah. Can out micro that Adept for sure. You're going to force Stalkers to come out. Like, he will be able to deal with it. You shouldn't end up losing anything, but again,
but I mean-
so annoying.
You would want to have workers down here by now. So this is
Absolutely.
really annoying. I mean, this allows Cure to really take full control of the early game here. There's a Void Ray being made.
Are you kidding
Wow.
me? Are you kidding me? A Void Ray? I'm really surprised by that. He has a shield battery being made. I'm really, really surprised by the Void Ray. It feels like he is over-countering this.
Yeah.
I think that what you
he's-
do is you make a second Stalker and you use your shield battery and you poke and you do that little game where the SCV keeps popping in and out of the bunker and you try to kill it.
Yeah.
Because once the SCV is dead, the bunker dies.
Well, he's also, it may be possible that Deer is going to end up squandering whatever benefits he had from a Stargate tech, you know? Like, to get the Void Ray, like, I don't...
Well, once the Void Ray is out, like, are you going to get him with an Oracle after that? And the thing is...
Oh, my God,
Okay.
he's getting probes. Ah!
Wait, did he get a probe? I
Yeah, he
guess
got at least one.
Okay. Wow. Well, good on
Oh,
him.
he's not done yet.
Now, to be fair, like, the Void Ray is a bad unit. It is the worst unit in the game, okay? But
How dare
it
you.
actually does some things. Like, you can sit a Void Ray in a drop path or something like that. A Void Ray kills a medevac when you hit the charge up button before
Right.
the medevac gets past it. It actually kills the medevac ridiculously fast. So it's a reasonable anti-drop unit.
the cast is half full here with Artosis.
It's true.
I don't know, man. I feel like already he slowed down the mining. Cure did.
Oh, yeah.
He's gotten the game to where it needs to be. There's no Oracle that's come out yet. Phoenixes are being made, albeit quite late, with Cyclones here to answer, as we see. And just in that last shot we had.
He's going to go Phoenix Colossus.
Oh, wow.
He just added 2 gases after making his Robo, and he's making Phoenixes. Yeah, he's going to go Phoenix Colossus. Why not? You have the Void Ray. You may as well.
So a little bit less conventional of an approach here to the matchup.
Very old school style.
Yeah. But this may throw Cure off.
Oh, this is cool. I like it.
I worry for Deer, though. I mean, I think there's enough Marines out, right? The Colossus can be strong against that. But
Yeah. It's an antiquated style, but it's like...
Do you think Cure would be anticipating this? Because there's definitely games where you attack across the map and you're totally caught off guard by the unit composition.
I think he'll figure it out before it can hurt him.
Okay.
Like, you see Phoenixes are being made. The Phoenixes aren't harassing you right now. He's checking for a third. You see that move out that he's doing right now? He thinks that there's a third, which is something that you'll do with Phoenixes sometimes. And when he sees that there isn't one, he'll become a little bit more suspicious and figure out the unit comp that's coming for him. But it's such an old strategy that really does not get used that I just wonder how they counter it. Like, I remember the prevailing way was just to make a lot of Vikings, but then you had people like Maru who would just do Widowmine drops until his opponent left the game.
Right.
Which doesn't seem to make sense, but it worked for him. And
Well, he started to push through here. He's going to get the Cybernetics core, which is a big hiccup in all tech. He gets another gateway. Easy peasy. There's not a real way to contest this. The Terran army is right now the stronger one, although a Colossus is about to come out.
yeah, the Colossus should help him to just hold this straight
he
up.
bursts through here with the Phoenixes, picking up the 2 Colossi. Or I'm sorry, Cyclones, excuse me.
Ooh, careful with that.
So that Colossus comes out in the nick of time, but
He should not be attacking anymore. He needs to walk back.
we did see some tech loss there. And I don't think Terran can really pick up and drop, not with the Phoenixes in the game, not without it being a high risk. But as I'm saying that, I'm seeing this army loop back up here.
Yeah, he wants to try to cancel this base. Maybe he gets it. I think that Protoss is out of position here. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing about the Colossus is it's not a fast unit.
Yeah.
Nor is the Void Ray or Zealots on the ground, so you kind of, Terran can get in and out pretty easily.
Oh,
Okay,
this is great targeting. He's like sacrificing a lot of Marines to target down Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's keeping that Phoenix count much lower. Remember, Marines are like the Zerglings of Terran. You know, you can remake them. If you're trading off some more technical units like Phoenixes, I think that's worthwhile. And I don't actually think that Protoss can full-on counterattack from here.
No.
This means the third base for the Terran gets up before the third base for the Protoss. And map control right now is still going to Cure.
Yeah, I think that Deer didn't deal with that well. When he pushed the first push away, he should have backed up into a central location so he could take his third. Having the third get canceled, and then also losing like 4 Phoenixes. Maybe it was 3 Phoenixes, maybe it was 4 Phoenixes that went down. But that's too much. You don't actually want to make Phoenixes all game unless you're Myungshik, right? Like you want to get a certain amount so that they have to make a silly amount of Vikings to counter.
Yeah, you're controlling their response tech.
Yeah, and then you want to try to get into something else. But yeah, to lose those, it's like each one is 100 gas a pop. Whereas you're killing some Marines, sure. Like he was chasing hard. He wanted the medevac, I felt like, and then he started lifting Marines, and the Marines turned and fired on the Phoenixes. The thing is, you're going Colossus, so the Marines are the least of your worries, to be honest. That is not the unit that you need to reduce the number of.
Right.
Whereas getting the number of your Phoenixes reduced is definitely a negative for Protoss. So I do not think that Deer traded well there at all.
He still has a decent amount. I saw 5 back there. There's the Void Ray Artosis ready to take out a medevac.
Yeah. Medevac flies over him, you'll see it die.
The Phoenixes are not over here, though, right now.
What am I looking at? Get those Phoenixes with the Colossi. All right, there we go.
Yeah, I don't think Terran should attack in here yet.
He can't attack.
Well, the
here.
Colossi shots are going to get so much value before you're ever even able to really get the shots off that you need to get. But Cure supply is skyrocketing right now. You always get a bit of a supply lead in this matchup with the Terran. He's trying to trade his shots more efficiently. By the way, that Void Ray tanked pretty nicely.
Yeah, it did. There's a lot of Vikings here.
Okay, the Marauders they're not high in number here, but now there's just like nothing to stop these Vikings from killing everything.
Yeah.
And then this means the follow-up ground army is going to be way stronger here. What, it's 6 Vikings right now against the 2 Colossi.
Yeah.
They're each going to go down, and then the Protoss is going to have nothing really to defend against Marine Marauder Medevac. GG, Cure takes his 3-1.
All right, good win by Cure. I think that Deer misplayed with that composition heavily. I already kind of described that. So
I don't think he should have gone there, to be honest. I think that that little bunker being made over in the natural spooked Deer so heavily that he got himself into a position that's not going to be very winnable against a calm and composed Cure.
Yeah, the Void Ray seemed like overkill. I think just Stalker production would have been fine. I think that the call after the Void Ray to go into Phoenix Colossus, I think that was totally okay. And then he positionally was not playing it that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't really see. I think it's an okay call to make, but you need to be experienced with how to play it.
We're going to a break. When we come back, our final match, Armani versus Solar. Don't go away.
Start a war from a whisper. You wanna play with fire, then you get burned. But something in your eyes says you don't run the heights, says you've been charming snakes for a long time. Say everyone loves a wild child. Building up a house, now you're burning it down, 'cause you're gonna do what you wanna. Facing all your beds,
2020 GSL Super Tournament, Season 1.
So far, the Terrans have been dominating. Now it's time for the only way for a Terran not to win is to have two Zergs play each other.
It's the only way. The only way we're going to get some Zerg justice. I can't believe how dominant Terran was today.
Yeah, they killed it.
I thought all these games are going to be close. I mean, it's not just that they won, it's that they only lost one game. What's crazy.
Yeah,
I would be fine with 3-2s.
No, it was pretty wild. Very excited to see what that means going forward. By the way, that means Maru and Innovation are going to play in the next round, which means one of them seeds in the round of 16 of GSL, as it should be.
I can get behind that. That'll be a great matchup to watch.
Yeah. Now we're going to have Armani going up against Cure. I mean, not Cure, Solar.
Yes.
Solar is just kind of a more storied, more well-known, more successful, more accomplished Zerg. But Armani's been coming up. He's a good player, strong Zerg player. As you can see, round of 24 in I Am Katowice. I mean, kind of to be expected, but is he going to be able to take down Solar? I don't think so.
I don't think that Solar's going to lose here. I mean, we have had a long downtime of this matches here for GSL, but I mean that would be a huge upset if it did happen. I feel like the real upset today was just how one-sided the Terran games were. Let's see, though. I mean, I always welcome a plot twist in the day. But yeah, I mean, Solar is quite good, ZBZ. This guy has been around for a long time. He's always been one of the top-tier Zergs. He's a hard-working player.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what to expect. I hope we see some interesting strategies, though. These are definitely two players that do give us interesting strategies. A lot of styles were actually invented by Solar. He was the first one to show us Hydra Bane against Protoss.
Yeah, he was
one of the first people to really start using the new type of Swarm host. He's done a lot of things like that. Armani has shown us some moments of brilliance with Lurker play and things like that. So
yeah,
I hope we have something interesting here.
Well, Zerg has been very strong lately. I'm curious to see, you know, with all these players being so good at Zerg, how ZBZ is going to be approached right now.
Yeah. Well, let's see it.
It's going to be on Eternal Empire for map number 1. This is our final best of 5. After today, we are done with the round of 16. We go on to the round of 8. I can't wait. Let's do it. Eternal Empire has loaded up. This is Armani versus Solar.
Game start. Afrika Freaks, Armani.
Looking focused.
Triumphant Song Gaming, Solar.
All right. The Overlords are scouting.
I missed you guys. It's good to be back here. We're going to have a lot more studio matches to come. If you guys want to join us tomorrow as well for ASL, that'll be starting 7 p.m. KST.
Same YouTube channel, and if you're watching on Afrika TV, it's ASL English instead of GSL English.
That's right. And so same YouTube channel you're watching us on right now, or whatever channel you're watching us on right now.
That's what I say.
Okay, I thought you said just same channel. So, yeah, do join us. And now that we're finally starting the StarCraft 2 year, we're going to have a lot more stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
Since everybody's staying indoors lately, a little bit craziness with coronavirus, it's a good way to spend your time.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that everything got announced. People can see there's a lot of GSL this year. It's going to be fun, no matter what.
So let's see which type of ZBZ style we're going to have here. There's been a lot of different approaches to this matchup. In the last year, we really saw quite a heavy amount of late game play ZBZ. It seems like as each year's passed, it doesn't mean we won't have aggression, but as time has passed, it seems like you're always putting yourself at maybe a slight disadvantage if you're trying to attack in early on if the other player is just ready for it. And it's not that easy to hide information in a ZVZ. And so sometimes on maps, and this map could definitely be one of them as well, we start to see the players really hit each other when the expansions start to get quite spread out. Now, with all that information we've already had to collect, I do think Solar is overall probably just better than Armani, which means he might have other approaches he wants to try to come in here with.
Well, Solar is really a thinking man, Zerg.
Yeah.
He's very cognitive. I don't ever think of him as particularly strong mechanically speaking, so that might be an area where Armani can really fight toe-to-toe.
Okay.
The thing is, I've seen a fair amount of Armani's games, but it doesn't really stick in my mind exactly how he plays, right? Yeah, so not sure what to say as far as like what is best for him, but just knowing Solar, I feel like it should probably go more towards just a macro game, but not a complicated one. I'm talking like a Roach Ravager macro game rather than a Roach Ravager, let's get into lurkers, let's get into hive tech type of game, right? Okay, so Armani is actually, oh, I love it. He's getting melee. So Baneling Nest, a lot of lings being made and getting that melee attack. So this is going to give him some opportunities to be more aggressive. It's much more likely that he'll go into Mutalisk-based play if it does get that far.
And it looks as though Solar will probably be the one that's trying to defend. You know that because of the lower link count, the higher drone amount. Yeah. Now, if Armani attacks it and this just doesn't do that much, it's going to be problematic as Solar will begin to get a lead here. The lings are going to come down. Actually, very well-placed queen here.
Yeah, for sure. And he's got a few Banes already. Oh, he's got to be so careful. That was actually a pretty reasonable connection right there.
Yeah, and does not get that denial on the one Baneling. So far, Armani's slipping up a little bit here.
Yeah. This is a map I'm actually a little bit surprised to see the Zergling style, just because the small ramp, once you do get creep into that area, you can wall it off with a couple buildings, and then you only have one real attack path in through the third base. So it doesn't feel to me like it's really good for a ling-based play.
And he's not stopping, though. I mean, he's getting 14 more lings here, plus one attack's about to finish. But I agree with everything you said. I mean, now that Solar's barricaded off that tinier entrance, I mean, granted, this is a large area to defend. I don't think this is something Solar can't handle.
Yeah, and he's up 11 drones right now.
Which is huge.
So +1 is going to finish, which is going to make the... See, now he's making 12 Banelings. This is really, really key. The Banelings walking in and blowing up. It's not about his opponent's lings. It's about getting rid of his opponent's Banelings so that his lings can just shred. And that's... I mean, it is doable. Let's see.
Okay, these two Banes are just, I think, not going to cut it. And he's actually managed to zone these lings back so much.
Oh.
Wow. More Banes are coming down. I mean, it's now or never right now for Armani. And
you want two Banelings to go in because two Banelings will kill Banelings.
Right.
One Baneling doesn't kill Banelings.
And from here, I mean, you can just fire over the Evo chambers. I don't know if this is going to work.
Well, all Solar needs to do is spread his Banes and run him into his opponent's Banes here. Oh,
whoa!
What was that?
I actually was watching the upper right, and I just suddenly realized a bunch was blown up in the bottom left.
I believe what just occurred, and he has no idea because there's no Banelings left for Solar. This could have been a kill timing, possibly for Armani. But I believe Solar accidentally had all his Banelings selected and hit the detonate button.
Yeah, that's the only
I believe that's what occurred. But I was looking at the other group that was actually near the army, not the group that was down below.
Same.
But obviously you can't expect your opponent to do that, and I believe it was actually out of vision. So Armani, I mean, you can't blame him for it, but if he had turned around immediately and gone for the throat, he actually might have been able to win right there.
Well, now we have a game where, you know, kind of an odd twist, what appears to be a mechanical error here by Solar. Things are going to quiet down. But I do like the tech growth here for Solar as well. I mean, he held up the attack. Unfortunately, he lost units he never needed to lose. But he's going to get another expansion up here.
Just the fact that he's going into Mutas, like, that's going to be really good for him because he's going to be able to really put pressure on Armani with mutas, and behind that, if he just goes Roach, I can't even fathom Armani having enough units to deal with that.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
I can't imagine it.
It's a great setup to just get to where you need to be in the game because he's going to have the additional base. The attack didn't do enough damage early on, so he's going to have a fourth up here, but then his tech's also ahead.
Yeah.
So here come the mutas now.
Yeah.
And he's continuing
he's getting +1 for them. So he might actually just go Muta here, which is really cool. I like that style a lot.
Well, these Banes can't get away now. Now there's really less of a threat for him even being receiving damage here.
And you can see Pathogen Glands on the way. Armani's going to be forced into really turtling up and bringing it to very late game tech.
But even if he holds this off, the fourth base will already be, you know, he'll be receiving so much from that I feel like Solar still gets a lead. I think even as Armani gets the answer, Solar then has another problem that Armani's going to have to solve.
Yes, that's for sure. And that's the way that he has to solve that is through cost efficiency. He has to work on his upgrades and he has to work on hitting good fungal growths. And that's how he can end up winning this game, is just through kind of the power of cost efficiency. Because for sure, Solar, the entire game has had a better economy, and for the entire game will continue to have a better economy.
Fifth base. Armani is going to get buried here. Now, let's see, though. Maybe he has some kind of miracle play against the mutas where he can take them all out. But I don't think so, man. I mean, this all goes back to the choice of Armani trying to attack in early on and Solar defending it pretty easily. We have 6 Infestors hatching now.
And by the way, now he sees these Infestors. He sees kind of what he's up against. This, I know it's kind of like a weird thing to say, but this would be a good situation in which, for which Solar could go into Ultras.
Okay.
That would actually, I think that would be a strong choice here because he's basically playing against Roach Infestor, and Ultras, like, Fungal doesn't do anything. It just, like, hurts them a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
You know, another thing to point out is that this is what we see a lot in StarCraft, even in mirror matchups, which you wouldn't think would be the case, but you sort of force them into one tech, and as they answer to that tech, based off whatever tech you chose as you got the lead, then you switch into another tech. And sometimes it's several tech rotations until eventually you've really cornered them.
Yeah, you see that more, I would say, in PvP and ZVZ. You don't really see it in TVT.
Right.
You know, tanks counter Marines, but Marines are mobile. What's up? I guess that you have that Sky Terran later on, but... Okay, this is a risky play, this flank. Let's see. Yeah, the Fungals, 2 Fungals kill him.
Yeah, and they're not going to get anywhere. Wow, huge hemorrhaging of Banelings here.
Yeah.
But those mutas are still going to dive in here. He saw where the Infestors are. He's going to get a lot of these Queens. More Banes coming up!
Yeah, good Fungals, though, as long as he gets another one off. Oh, the Lings are really starting to get in here.
I'll tell you, man, this is working out so well. I mean, there's no way for Armani to get in here. He's just going to be buried with units. GG.
Yeah.
And no surprise there, Solar takes game 1.
Yeah, that was a cool game. I'm still a little bit confused just by the strategic choice of Armani to do a Ling-based strategy in the early game, an early Ling-based aggressive strategy here. Because, again, you can wall that little ramp and then suddenly what do you do?
Look, I mean, our Armani is I would say, the weakest player out of our 16. You know, I mean, is that fair to say? I think it is. I think he knows that it's going to be...
him or Patience, maybe, yeah. Probably him. Patience has more...
I'd say Patience a little bit above Armani.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to either of those 2 players, but I think he's... You know, when you feel like you're outmatched, sometimes you're driven more towards doing a really, really crazy strategy where you feel like maybe if you just make a few good moves, you can win.
Sure.
But Solar's a pro, man. He's used to people rushing him like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I also don't think that was a great strategy for the map either.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way, but it was an interesting game.
Game 2 is ready. Armani vs. Solar continues on.
Game start. Afrika Freaks, Armani. Triumphant Song Gaming, Solar.
Okay, let's hope that Armani can have a better game here for Game 2. We've already had so many one-sided games, man.
Yeah. We're still hoping.
Not one-sided upsets so much, you know? So, mirrored builds, at least for starts here. I really like how Solar set up that late game.
Yeah, I liked the choice to go Muta. I wasn't really thinking of it because he was playing against Ling Bane, so it almost feels like the easy way out is to just go for some upgraded roaches, maybe go into
That's
Lurker
what I
if that's
thought
what
too.
you want. But I liked the Mutalisk choice. That was very cool. 'Cause there's no way he's going to be behind with that. There's nothing his opponent could be going for that's scary to him at all if he's going Mutas.
What's interesting about the tech is that you would think, especially with all the StarCraft we've seen over time, and obviously this game keeps getting patched and changed, but you would think that the Infestors would just immediately counter that. But the fact is, since you're up a base and they're on 3 bases, you force them into Infestors, and by then you already have your 5th up. You just have such a lead. Lings and Banes and everything else are suddenly so strong.
The Mutas actually will counter everything Armani could do because Armani's playing from a lower economy. Right. So if he's going Mutas, you win automatically because you simply have more, and we know how that ends up from many years of StarCraft 1 ZVZ. And then if he's going Roaches, then he has to play completely defensively. And then anything else is like a silly Nidus all-in or some very, very weird Lurker rush, and the Mutas aren't afraid of either of those. The Mutas just kind of counter everything at that point. So it's actually, like, you can really see when I call him a cognitive Zerg, how he's really kind of using his brain.
Yeah, because
I do think a lot of Zergs wouldn't go Spire from Solar's position. I think a lot would just be like, hey, I'm ahead. All right, macro.
Yeah, let's get more of the stronger units initially and try to win over fights. But
yeah,
really, it's quite brilliant what he did back there. So let's see what Armani does now. I'm almost more interested to see what he has planned for this. We've had the information for these players on who's versus who for a while now, so there's definitely been
that's
time,
true.
You know?
Brackets have been out for a real long time,
and all these guys have been jonesing to play in some tournament matches.
And they both went to Katowice, but still, you're going to be in the back of your mind thinking about Solar ZVZ, right?
Yeah. Well, these guys almost live out of the studio most of the time, you know. So a Baneling's Nest on both sides coming down. We don't know exactly what kind of game we're going to have yet because the Baneling's Nest doesn't necessarily tell us we're going to have aggression.
You got to get one either way, unless you're playing like a 2-base turtle strat with a wall.
Right.
You just have to have it, or Lings are too strong.
You want to make less of Banelings for yourself and try to use that to hold off the higher number of Banelings that they have. 10 Lings now for Solar.
Yeah, not an overly aggressive number.
Yeah, we're waiting to see if there's going to be
he
another
adds
big
any
spike.
more. Like, as soon as you see that Baneling making, you think it's defensive, you know? If you're making a Baneling, you're sitting at home with it. All right, so just some early Zergling scuffles. See if anyone gets anything done. Hey, Queen pick off? Well, I guess it's not sitting at home. He brought it with him. Not sure it's going to get much done. He gets a Queen, though, which is good.
Yeah. Well, that's a
strong pick-off.
That's a good kill early on.
Yeah.
That's the one unit that you really can kill that actually matters quite a bit.
Yeah.
More Banes are being made.
Look at that. See, this is such a small amount that he's doing this with. I really like it. By the way, Armani with the +1 melee. Very cool.
Meanwhile, +1 missile here for Solar. And he's going to be able to maybe keep some drones off these bases. Look at this. Oh!
Beautiful, beautiful.
Immediate surround there. And now you can have those Lings dive over. If he could detonate these 2 Banes on top of those Banes, that would be huge.
Yeah, he's trying. These Banes are doing a good job. They're just kind of escorting his Lings out. I love it.
Yeah. Very patient play.
Wow, Solar is just, so far, running circles around Armani.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a tricky matchup as far as control goes early on because you can end up with, you know, a few misclicks and everything just dies. Everything falls apart. I love how that Lings came in literally as the Queen popped out.
Yeah.
Like, he just knew how many seconds he needed. He came out surrounded. And again, there's no Queen here, no injects. There's the other one that was just popped out there now.
Yeah, his micros, tactics, everything looks very good.
Armani throws down a Spire and is making a bunch of Lings.
Yeah, I think that's not a terrible choice here. But wait a minute. 5 gas, 6 gas. Okay, we're going to see a Spire from Solar, I think.
Yeah.
Even though he's getting missile attacks. Yeah. Either that or he's like rushing to Lurker. Where is it? Come on, make it.
He better tech to something
Very
here.
Good. And we're going to switch off that production pin.
Oh, it's Spire. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's
Yeah, that's...
It's Armani over there, excuse me.
Huh. Where's Solar's tech? He's just getting the roach speed, that's it? He has so many gases.
Maybe he gets the gases so that if he gets scouted, he thinks it's some other tech when it's in fact. But is he mining from the gases then?
I mean, he must not be.
Because, yeah, if you have this many gases, that's way too much gas for roaches.
Right? Or maybe he had so low gas, he just needed to shoot it up for a moment. Anyways, whatever. Hidden Spire in the top right, I really think that's a cool play. It's always nice to hide something like that.
Oh. Oh, my God. You know, he just actually barely got vision of the creep, but I don't think he noticed it.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
Very
It's a
hard
dark
to actually
map as
see
well.
that. Yeah, that's a good point, too.
What are those buildings right there? Spines. Okay, 3 spines right there is a funny play. That looks like a Mutalisk type thing, right? If you're not making roaches, you got to make some static D.
So the 7 Mutalisks are coming out here. The roaches will get there around when the mutas are going to hatch. And by the way, there was a Hydrogen to throw down. They might have been actually canceling that.
Yeah, it's Solar's Hydrogen.
Yeah. So he's going to come in here.
Wow, it looks like he has just enough to hold this off for now.
Well, there's more roaches coming,
oh,
and now he
yeah.
can attack where the spine crawlers are not. The mutas don't kill this off that quickly, you know. But the lings coming in here as well are going to be pretty helpful.
Yeah, he has +1 on those lings, so those are really going to help against these roaches. Those plus the mutas, you should be all right. But this gives Solar some time to defend against the mutas at home.
Yeah, it's at least keeping Armani back. And remember that Solar's actually expanded along with this. So he has yet another base, or he will when the hatchery finishes, which is not very far from now. And if you get the one-up on the mutas, a lot of times they're just running around putting out fires back at home instead of actually going across the map and doing damage.
Very, very true. But Armani, you know, he's building that Mutalisk count right now. He's going to stay on it. He's getting +2 melee as well, which are going to make his Banelings way more dangerous. His Zerglings as well, of course. So even though he's like a little bit down in drones and it's taken a while to get across the map, I think he still has real potential in this game. This could be a very good one.
Let's hope so. Muta's coming in now doing some good damage to those Overlords.
Yeah, Queen's coming out to try to defend a little bit. Not too afraid of the Queens, but the Hydras will push him back.
This has been a more confusing game here from Solar, the way he set everything up.
In which way?
Well, just the Roach Rush.
Yeah, the Roach
was
was a little bit weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't really great.
I think he was reading, maybe after seeing the spines, that like, this must be Muta.
Okay.
Because when you see the spines, it's not Roach, right? You don't go Roach and Spine against Roach.
Right.
It doesn't even make sense.
Oh my God. 7 kills.
All right, not
12
bad.
kills. Hey, that's exactly what Armani needs.
Yeah, totally. His Muta's continuing to fly around. Baneling speed is going to be finishing up. And this is where it gets a little bit scary for Solar. Because if you roll Baneling speeded Banes into those Hydras, the Mutas will kill everything.
I think he's actually just going to all in here across the map. Oh my God.
Oh,
Great
that's
catch.
hilarious,
Great catch.
isn't it? My God. Well, that's what you need. Right before Baneling speed catches almost all of them morphing.
Yeah, no kidding. Had that finished and the speed upgrade was done, he could have just flown right in there.
Yeah, he needs to eliminate a bunch of the Hydras with Banes.
Okay, there's plenty more Banes coming out now. Now, Bane speed is done, and the Mutas are out.
Oh, man, and he's starting to spread, though. He knows what's up. And there's not that many speed Banes.
The hatchery's about to go down. Here comes the attack to try to save that hatchery.
Yeah, he's trying to hit these Hydras, and, I mean, he hits a chunk of them, but not quite enough. You really need to erase them.
Solar is so good. It's crazy. By the way, he can actually take out the Baneling's nest here, which just so happens to be damaged. Just immediately goes down.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's going to be that. I tell you, you know what this series feels like to me so far is Solar making his own luck. He's like,
I like that.
He's just playing the game well, and fortune is falling in his lap quite often. You know, he's like, yeah, I kind of scouted you, and now I'll just move out.
He's like, I know, right?
And then he's moving across the map and like running into where the Banes are morphing, and it's just like,
Well, that's
yeah.
what's funny is the idea of what Armani was doing was good, but then,
Yeah.
and think about this, that those Banes would have finished at just the right angle to kill all the Hydras, and then we would have seen probably Armani dominate the map. But look, I mean, you got to be careful where you make the Banelings.
Yeah, if they were
Sometimes-
half a screen down from there.
Yeah, sometimes these games are going so
Game was
fast that you just see people set up stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you see it all the time where the push comes in, the players make the Banes in the middle of the fight,
Yeah.
and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, Armani kind of shoot himself in the foot, but I thought that game 2 was better than game 1.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Let's see if Armani can turn this around. Solar, the clear favorite. We knew this before we came in here today. Let's see if Armani can come back, at least begin that comeback here in game 3. Otherwise, Solar is going to be our final player to advance to the round of 8.
Start. Africa Freaks, Armani.
All right.
Hell yeah!
12 pool.
Triumphant Song Gaming, Solar.
I hope it's the drone pull. 12 pool.
Oh, no hands.
He
Only
wants
Maru
to be
can do
Maru
that.
so bad. Okay, are we pulling drones with this, Tasteless, is the question.
I think so. I think all signs point to yes.
I think he's just going to do one. The way that this guy is queued around the map, I think he's just going to run in there with one drone. One spine.
But don't you feel like Solar knows something like this is coming?
No. How would he know?
Because he won so badly in the first 2 games.
He's like, I'm so much better than this guy, he has to cheese me here.
Yeah. Here we go. He's gonna come through. And he's just avoiding. This is like the James Bond drone. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. I was like,
dig
okay,
it.
that doesn't make sense at all, a hatchery, but he is bringing all the drones.
I knew it!
I love it.
Scumbag play.
This is really smart. I like this a lot.
Oh,
Okay, he sees it coming. He's like, wait, is there a spine? Nope, there's no spine. I'm safe. But
that's
you're not.
funny.
But you're
So in case you guys are
not.
confused about what happened, there's a little bit of creep after you cancel that, and you can just immediately plant that down here.
That
Now-
spine is going to surprise the hell out of him.
Yeah, I actually want to take a look at his face when he sees this coming. Now there's another spine being made, but the real, yeah. Now he sees what's happening.
I feel like you should bring that in.
That's what I thought, but it's staying down there. I
Because
guess
it
maybe he
loses
wants.
health off creep, yeah.
Okay, he is. He just was a little bit slow to do so.
Okay, that's where he wants to burrow it.
I feel like the spine is a little bit slow to come up here, though. Most of these units are going to be killed before the spine can actually come into play. Oh my God.
Oh
Is
my
Solar
God,
just going to hold
so
this?
weird. Well, the spine's going to finish.
No, the spine is going to be set up here, and then it's going to die.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to StarCraft Cheese Jail. GG.
Whoa.
And in your Pro Gamer badge. Damn, that was brutal.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was
so
brutal.
That goes to show you that you need to move the spine immediately.
I guess so.
Like yesterday.
I guess so.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, well, certainly he could have moved it a little bit quicker, but it seemed like stuff like that doesn't work all that often. The top Zerg players in the world stop that crap.
Well, we would see it a lot more if it actually did work.
Yeah.
But I think I understand why he did it. I think he felt like he was not going to win no matter what, and he thought, okay, maybe I'll do a crazy cheese and just see if I can surprise him.
Yeah. Well,
Oh well.
didn't work out for him. This was the most one-sided day of Super Tournament we ever could have asked for.
I think out of all of our Super Tournament days we've ever had,
Oh, for sure.
in all the Super Tournaments.
Dude, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-0.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But here's the thing, guys. We had to get all the one-sided games out of the way because the round of 8.
these are some great matchups. Okay, SOS looked peak form. He's going up against Dark, who is, you have to call him the best Zerg in the world. We got Zest versus Trap, two monsters of PvP. We have Maru
Yes.
versus Innovation, the two best Terrans of all time going at
Yes.
it. And then Cure Solar, that's an interesting one. I'm really interested to see what Solar wants to bring against Cure. Cure is on fire lately, but Solar's a very smart guy.
Reminder, guys, SOS beat Rogue in some insane games, so, SOS might have something planned here for Dark. I know that Dark is probably supposed to win this whole thing, but you never know with SOS.
You know what's cool, too?
We doubted him, Artosis.
Don't
like idiots!
Yeah, like idiots.
Again.
Now, one player out of each of those matchups will have a seed into the round of 16 of GSL Code S.
That's right.
And the thing is, the top 6 names, I look at all those, I'm like, yep, those all seem about right for people who would have seeds. And then I look at Cure Solar, and I'm like, wow, that's a very interesting seed into the round of 16. Solar has not been in his best form in the last few years, and Cure obviously is still coming up, so that's cool. That's cool.
Well, guys, it was fun. I think we learned a lot today, but most of the games are not that close. I think our best game, if you want to recommend a VOD for anybody, definitely that last game with
Innovation Sioux Game 3 it was, right?
Yes, Game 3, the final one where the pool was
Eternal Empire. Yeah, that was a great game.
That was a great game.
Sick.
And we're going to be back tomorrow for ASL.
That's
Same
right.
channel. Sunday night, that's 7 p.m. KST, so it's going to start 2 hours after this. Our normal Super Tournament time normally starts. Just go on one of those world clock things on your computer, and then you'll see what time it is. That's going to be on the same channel that you're watching us on right now, but it's going to be in a different studio. We do have 2 studios now, so we'll be using our new one there at Jamsha, which is huge, and whenever this whole pandemic is finally cleared up, people can start coming down to our studio and seeing the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Hopefully. It was fun. Even though it was kind of one-sided tonight, we did have a few games that were really, really interesting and neat. Yeah, I guess that's it, though. I guess we just got to wait until tomorrow night for some more casting.
I'll be there. I'm excited. Pretty crazy to see the condition that some of these players are in. Cure looking so strong. I mean, Deer, we really thought he was going to probably take this pretty easily. Cure really came prepared. Deer did seem to have some strategies that were kind of questionable. It's always weird for me as a caster following Deer's games because there's periods where he's literally been the best at his entire race in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's periods where he comes with what just seem like obviously obsolete strategies. Not even obsolete, just they're not going to work. Like the Tempest play. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I understand that
occasionally he will just kind of fall flat on his face with this
Yeah,
strat.
it's just it's a little bit odd.
Although that game I really chalk up to Cure knowing what to do more than anything, and obviously there's a reason that strategy is not a mainstay. It's gimmicky.
Whenever we have a new map, a lot of times we'll have a very weird strategy come out that
A lot of cheese on new maps.
it's hard to not want to cheese on some of these new maps if you can just take the win. And if they don't know, they just get stopped.
If you're not ready for a map, you can always just plan out a cheese. Like, if you're not comfortable on it, it's better to just rush your opponent and be like, maybe.
Yeah.
A maybe's better than a no.
Yeah. Solar's games at the end here were very impressive. Maru, just with very commanding play. I'm really excited for our TVT we're going to have.
Yeah, Maru Innovation, that'll probably be the best match in this next round.
I think so. That should be close no matter what.
I think so.
We've had a couple of matches here in Super Tournament where we thought it was going to be close.
When those two play, sparks fly. Innovation is the last person that eliminated Maru from GSL, if I recall correctly, right? And they were in the same group. And it was like, oh, Maru's going to win his 5th. And then Innovation's like, no, get out.
Well, and also just the play style is so entertaining. So, again, guys, ASL tomorrow. We're going to be wrapping this stream up. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And take care of each other. And we're going to get through this whole pandemic together. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.